Welcome to the Comic Cinema Crew as we present our Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness movie review. We are here, some of the cinema crew, of course, and also we have Mr. Josh Warren. What's going on, Josh?
Yo, peace, guys.
And Chloe Diz.
What's up?
And again, we are here to talk about Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness.
Yeah.
There. So, guys, we talked about this movie on Mental Theater. Shouts out to Mental Theater. It's on Josh's channel from last week. If you didn't see that, go back and check that out. Please. So we kind of dove into this a little bit, but we haven't gotten E's opinion on camera. So, E, why don't you start and give us your first overall opinions of the movie? So.
Man, overall, I loved it. I loved how everything looked as far as graphic-wise. I love the power use, the fights, the deaths. I needed all that. I needed every bit of that, and I got what I wanted. So yeah, let's get in there. Let's get deep.
All right, Dave.
Yep.
What do you think about it overall?
I thought it was a great movie. A lot of what you're gonna hear today out of my mouth is probably gonna make it sound like not a great movie, but I'm a nitpicker. That's kind of just who I am. So, but yeah, no, it was a really great movie. Story moved very fast. I loved it. I love that for it. I love movies where the story moves quick, and all the characters were generally likable, with the exception of one or two. So,
okay.
Yeah.
Well, I know your thoughts, but why don't you give it to my audience? What do you think of the movie?
So I've had time to reflect.
Oh, okay.
You know, it's all about growth, right?
All about growth.
I think I was more emotionally based on my first assessment because I had these high expectations. So once I removed the high expectations and just took it for what it was, I think it was visually, aesthetically pleasing. It was. Would I see it again? I don't know. I don't think so. I think it's one of those movies that you watch once and it's like, okay, that happened. So I would say it was good. It was good.
Josh?
Absolutely. And shout out to Dave for realizing he had to mute his mic. Appreciate that, Dave.
Sorry about that, yeah. Sorry.
It's like, no, but yeah, I still, and shout out to Jazz and the New You. I still give it an 8 based upon, I see what they were trying to do. They didn't stick the landing like other productions in the past, but as we discussed, and we'll get into it, I think they've peaked in terms of the MCU. I feel like we're going to maybe not too much of a decline, but kind of like a stock, right? It'll decline a little bit and then just coast by. And I feel like phase 4 and 5 will be in that arena. But based upon what can happen, because I had to re-listen to our, mental theater show on Spotify, and I was like, you know what are the ways that it can work? And there's some great things that we'll discuss in the show.
Okay, yeah, I agree. Yeah, Jazz gave it like a 6.5. He want to let you guys know, and he he actually said he liked Morbius better. So that's
I can see that. I knowing Jazz, I can see that. I can also see him liking what's it called, Moon Knight as well.
Yeah. And my feelings, with each viewing, this movie I've liked it less and less. The visuals stay constant, the action stays constant, but the plot holes, which Dave spoke about earlier, they kind of shine.
Get wider and wider. Wider and wider.
They get wider and wider. So I've watched it 3 times, and I've seen it 3 times within like a 4-day span. So yeah, but at third viewing, I was like, so
okay, because you guys essentially saying fool me once, shame on me. Fool me twice, can't get fooled again.
Well, what happens is that, and we'll get into it, but there's some things they do here that pop. So that first viewing, it's like, oh wow, you get that pop, and then it's like the crowd is with you. But then if you've seen it the second time, about the third time, the pop is gone. So now it's about like what the movie is.
By the third time I saw it, I was used, like I knew the movie by heart.
Yeah, you kind of know the movie, what's happening. So the plot holes kind of stick out to you. So I went from an 8.5 to an 8. I'm probably on a 7.5 right now. So I hope I don't watch it no more. but it's after that, it's good for me. So yeah, so let's get into the movie. Josh, you were talking about some of those. Well, let's talk about each character. I guess is the best way to kind of do it because there are a few characters in this movie, and the main character, which will probably take us some time to talk about, is Wanda or Scarlet Witch. So, Josh, why don't you discuss your highlights or your problems with Wanda?
So for Wanda, I feel like we can all collectively agree her descent into darkness was very odd. It was odd in terms of storytelling, especially the level of storytelling we expect from Kevin Feige and the MCU. That was shocking for me. I was surprised it was that accelerated without any explanation. So that was weird. But besides that, I look at it also from a business lens and a brand lens. And this is a great way for people to become more aware of Scarlet Witch, because let's remember, sure, we could be in the trenches and Ian, Dave, and Mike on a different level, right? At the mountaintop in terms of comic book content and interest. But for the casual viewer, I think a lot of people are watching WandaVision right now because of that film, and I think it's serving that purpose.
What about your likes about her, Josh? Before I move forward,
I mean, her, like as you were saying, her power sources and everything. Like, I mean, she's a Nexus being. There's only one of her in all the multiverses, similar to another character we'll get into. So I think that's very interesting. So she's so powerful. At any point she wants to do anything evil, and the entire world, the entire universe, all the multiverses, they all feel that. This is interesting.
Okay. Dave, why don't you do likes and dislikes of Wanda? We might be here a while.
Well, yeah, the likes, the likes is I like how since day one that we saw her power set every movie increases. My girl is like, oh, if she could have did all that shit, she could have just destroyed Ultron like this, and I'm like, I have to keep explaining her, like, this is a journey for her.
Yeah.
To learn about her abilities and learn what it is she can do. Like, she literally just found out she was the Scarlet Witch. Like I don't know how long between WandaVision and Doctor Strange 2 passed, but in that time is when she found out she was the actual Scarlet Witch. So I like the power set, and I like obviously Elizabeth Olsen's performance. It's very polarizing. The dislikes is I see the conundrum Marvel has found itself in. They gotta try to make her. Excuse me. They have to keep her as a hero. And they have to do the best they can, allow her to do all this evil shit. Create a hex, fight the Avengers, now kill the Illuminati. At the end of this movie, she still needs to be able to be a hero. Like, we can't, because they eventually, I think we all see what's in the cards, and the Scarlet Witch movie is going to be coming soon. I just don't know when. But it seemed like the whole movie was focused on giving her, and her motivation was focused on giving her something that people would be like, oh, I understand why she would do that now. It was for her kids. Like, no, it's still, to me, it's still an evil act. And I think they could have just got it off better by saying that the Darkhold got her and that she couldn't fight it. But then they would have had to play down her abilities because she became the Scarlet Witch, the most powerful being in the world. And she automatically gets possessed like a couple of weeks later. It doesn't jive with being most powerful being in the world. So I felt like that was a line that Marvel was walking throughout this entire movie, whether to make her beatable or not. And as we get closer, or later on in the review, we'll discuss how that turned out. But overall, I liked it. I liked all the characters, all except Christine. That's it. Like, she could have left.
Yeah, I kind of agree with you, Dave. A lot of what you said. I feel like that it wasn't. I told Edith the other day. I feel like that it didn't follow the WandaVision for Wanda to me.
Not at all. The irony is that Wanda in this movie became Ultron.
Yeah, she really did.
The irony,
yeah. I felt like she was more of a one-tone character, like a big bad, in the movie, obviously. But it definitely didn't follow. And it's like you repeated it, but didn't follow it, right? Because and WandaVision, she realized at the end, like, oh my God, I got these people under this spell. What am I doing? I got to stop this. But then she goes right back to it. So like being
she already got a pass for that shit the first time. So I don't know how many passes they can give her before you just say that she's a straight up villain.
Yeah, and that's the point. It's like that fine line. But go ahead, Chloe. I want to jump in. What's your thoughts on her, good and bad?
I like the fact that she was so powerful. I like how they depicted her with the crown and her rage and all her power and how she was badass. Like she was like not one to be played with at all, which I really enjoy, and I like how they depicted that. I also think that they did get away kind of with it. Like I look at it a little bit different because they do have the multiverses. So you can still say like, oh, Wanda's good because that's just the dark part of her. Kind of like if we're going to parallel to Moon Knight. Like, he has parts of him that are good and parts of him that are not so good, but we love him overall as a character. So I think that with Wanda, I think that because this was actually a good movie for her to be in because you were able to see her bad part, like, her evil part and the power that she has. So then it'll make you appreciate the other version of her, which was also featured in this movie that will probably take over, the one with the kids. Maybe, I don't know. I'm thinking it's going to go in that direction. But then I don't know, we'll get to that. But I think that we'll see her character development as like her remembering all this bad stuff she did. So she's going to have to like harness that power for something good instead and realize that she does have the potential to like go off the rails, kind of like Doctor Strange.
Okay. So y'all think at the end she's gonna go back to being just good, a good person?
Mm-hmm. They're gonna yo-yo her.
Mm-hmm.
Back and forth. Whenever they need her to be bad, she'll be bad.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's crazy after all she did is be all right, we're cool again. Whatever like that. Like
technically it was like different versions of her. So
this one who did everything with the same version, right?
Well, that was the initial version, but we don't know if she's still alive or not.
She is alive. She's definitely alive.
She alive.
Maybe, I don't know.
What do you think, bro?
So I thought she was done wonderful, honestly. I'm surprised people didn't understand where she went bad at. It showed you at the end of WandaVision where she went bad at. I felt she was sitting on the porch and she was what's that called, projection? She was projecting herself and she was going through the dark hole. I felt she went bad right there. You went wrong right there going through that book like that, messing with that book. I thought they explained that by showing that her messing with the book is the reason she went dark. I feel like she hit every line as far as being bad and evil. I liked her evil. She came in the game evil. So I don't know why everybody's shocked. She wasn't good from the gate. She was never good from the gate. Like if you unleash a hawk on an African city, you're like, how are y'all shocked? But okay, I get you. As far as like what didn't she do right? I feel like she was powerful. Scarlet Witch is powerful in the comics. I mean, she does yo-yo. She's powerful enough to yo-yo. I don't understand that part either. Like,
so I felt like that, and we talked about this the other day as well. I felt like that it wasn't enough. It was really like a 30-second scene if you think about it, right? In the end of WandaVision. And I felt like it wasn't enough of like I think they should have showed us more of the dark hole taking over her. Except for just that one small scene where she heard her kids, because then this movie,
the fingertips. Everybody that messed with that dark hole that had to go or that was wilding, fingertips was black.
I think they should have gave us some time of it. Okay, here's what I'm saying. Because at the end of WandaVision, she talked to Monica, and she felt so remorseful for what she did, right? And Westview. So then I felt like they should have showed more of the dark view, trying to pull her to the dark side, but her trying to pull away. And then maybe
but she
finally
didn't go through the book yet when she was talking to Monica.
No. That's my point. I'm saying after that, right? She got the book, and then so we're assuming that after she's remorseful, that she feels bad for what she did. So now she got the dark hole, and she reads it for a little bit. But I feel like this movie could have showed like the tug of war between her trying to stay good and the dark hole pulling her, so she finally losing the tug of war. Bit. It was just quick.
It's not a real tug of war because she hasn't been good that long. So I don't think it would be a real tug of war. Now if she came in good and then went bad and then went good again, like she didn't do that. She's been bad. She went good and now she's bad. Like she went back.
I mean, was she really bad or was she being controlled by?
Hold on, E. Let's do this, E. And when she first fought the Avengers, she was bad. Then she helped them beat Ultron. She's good, right? And then she created the Hex. That's bad.
Wait, hold up. You're skipping. She went through her thing with the Avengers all together.
Civil War, yeah.
Civil War. Would you consider her good or bad on that?
The Civil War showed her like
she was good.
She was good. Well, she was good because she was with Cap's side, but
so she's good regardless. She's good. So she goes to good.
Is she though? Because she didn't go with the government. She didn't go with the side of using them crazy power. I'm just saying. Is she good or bad? Like I can't say on that one right there. Cat made sense. Cap's reason made sense.
Yeah, the government's always good.
I would say she's good at Civil War.
The G-Man is always good, bro.
I would say she's good at I would say she's good at Infinity War, and she's good in her small part in Endgame. I would say she's good in all that. And then Westview, she becomes bad. I would say.
Can we just say she's a conflicted human? She's just even though she's not human,
yeah.
She's probably the most realistic.
I didn't think she was bad in the beginning. I think that the dude, what's his name, had control of her and her brother, and they had to live in a dungeon or whatever like that.
Nobody was controlling her to do that to them Avengers. She was doing that on her own. Nobody put a gun to her head. Did they have him locked up? Her and her brother as a test in the powers locked up. Like they were locked up, so they would.
And remember, they volunteered. They volunteered for those experiments.
They volunteered, right?
Right.
See, so
she's conflicted. All right, I'll go with Chloe. She's conflicted, but I feel like from the last time we've seen her, to me, like it was just a quick heel turn. You know,
to me, this is comic book Scarlet Witch. This is what I want. This is damn near no more mutants.
I agree. I think that, from what Mike's saying, I think that you both are right, because from what Mike's saying and from my perspective as a person, or maybe someone who's never even seen WandaVision, you're like, what the heck? I didn't even understand that the Darkhold was like a book that turned you evil, honestly.
Yeah,
maybe that went over my head, but like if it went over my head and I watched the movies, like what about who've never even seen it or never even heard of it?
Well, I had to say,
it had the same effect in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. because it did that to Doctor Strange. Like they had to get rid of Doctor Strange.
No. But what Chloe's saying is that the last time, if you only watch movies, the last time you seen her was in Endgame, taking over Thanos, and then you seen her now. So it's like, when did she become bad?
Well, she was trying to kill Thanos right there.
Because he was bad.
but that's a thin line right there. She was straight up trying to like.
I think they should have they should have talked more about what the Darkhold was in the beginning. Yeah. And like how Mike said, if they would have started off with her like going through the book, what they ended with, if they would have picked up from there,
yes,
I think that I would have had a whole different perspective of the movie, because it would have been some sense of continuity between the show.
Agatha gave you that. I felt Agatha told you what she was.
But if you didn't, who's Agatha? If you've never seen it, like
you didn't watch the
show, you know what I mean? If you didn't watch the show, like most people didn't watch WandaVision, and the people that I saw who started watching WandaVision, they thought it was corny. They never finished it. They was like, I ain't watching this. It's whack.
Because they didn't get past episode 3 or 4. That's why.
Right.
They watched the black and white stuff. Yeah.
They watched the black and white stuff and was like, this is stupid.
Yeah, it's stupid. Yeah. So like
now who's stupid?
Right.
So if if you're just a random person who walks in off the street and is like, oh, let me see this Marvel movie because I like Marvel characters and I heard there's some people in it, you would be confused a lot. Like, because I was confused in some parts, and I'm into the whole, like, we've watched the shows.
But you made it through. But Chloe, you made it through. You made it past that slow beginning, and then it became a great show. In my eyes, anyway. I don't know. If but
I was still confused.
I still feel like you didn't need the show, though. I really do.
You didn't feel like you needed WandaVision, bro? You definitely need the show.
I
definitely.
If you're going in, like, all right, for instance, the boys didn't watch WandaVision. My kids didn't watch WandaVision. They were like everybody else. Oh, black and white. Oh no, this ain't it. But they understood what was going on. They had no problems with that.
I mean, no. Okay, so if you don't watch the show, it's just a standard movie where this lady is like wants her kid, so she's bad. But the show, right? But the show gives you a deeper perspective of like all she's been through. So it's like
you're right on that. But now,
you wouldn't even know that there's children involved without watching the show.
But listen, you're right about that. But now what I'm gonna say is, from the kids' point, oh well, she was nutty in Age of Ultron, so I know she's gonna be. Oh, she's nutty here now. Okay, this makes sense. I've seen her do nut stuff.
But this is another level of nutty where you're like, when she's like, I want my kids.
It don't matter.
They're like,
still was doing. If you unleash the Hulk on a city, people are gonna die. So it's the same thing.
To E's point, I feel like I would agree if they made it a Vision focus. So to your point, that would fly if they kept the let's say the grieving from Vision. So that's what people probably thought, like, oh, you're still grieving from Vision. Like the whole Thanos thing was she was on a woman score and she was on Rage for revenge.
Right.
So after that, who knows, right? Civil War or excuse me, Age of Ultron. That type of Wanda could come back.
I want to get in there because I hear a lot of people talking about they expected to see or even have some sort of part of Vision, the lack of Vision in the movie. Did anybody?
I didn't.
I did.
Who's Vision?
That was a different universe.
But it was the multiverse, so I was totally expecting Vision to be in there.
How? If we don't know what happened with that Vision because Thanos never made it to Wakanda, so that Wanda never felt the pain of killing Vision. Well, that Wanda with the kids never felt the pain of having to kill.
Okay,
Vision.
not that Wanda with the kids, because so I was watching New Rockstars and they alluded to the fact that Vision was alive in one of the flashbacks, and we'll get to that. But it was like a scene where Thanos was dead. And if you look at the Infinity Gauntlet, the Mind Stone was missing, so he had not.
Right, because he never made it there yet. Right.
I want to counter E. I'm going to counter E on one point. We see Wanda with the kids, right? In every reality, Wanda would have had to have made the kids.
Right.
Okay.
With Vision.
All right. Like she made Vision. So all those realities where we saw Wanda with her kids, that was just hold on. Let me finish. Let me finish my sentence. Let me finish my sentence. Those are realities where no one was able to shut down Wanda's hex.
Yeah.
Right.
That's what I'm saying. So even in those more alternate realities, those kids are still fugazi.
Yeah, they still.
It's just ones where Monica didn't make it through the wall to become Spectrum, and no one was able to stop the Scarlet Witch's hex from shutting down. She eventually ended up shutting it down in our reality. In their reality, it's alive and well.
She didn't make this hex with a dead Vision because her Vision ain't dead.
Well, no, but that's the thing. Shorty made the hex because of Vision being dead.
Because of Vision being.
Yeah, that was her grief for that.
In our universe, but the one that she took over.
So why would she make the hex?
That one just made it.
Maybe she accepted Vision's death in that hex, but she was still pissed and created.
But Vision wasn't dead because Thanos never made it to Wakanda.
In only one reality. One reality, but she went to multiple.
That's the reality I'm talking about.
Wasn't she in love with him?
Sorry.
Wasn't she in love with him? Like, she's not gonna make any kids without a father.
Right,
but Ultron ain't had no robot sperm.
Right, but if he died, you don't know what he's doing, where he's at, what's going on.
Let me
he turned Vision into a mobile sperm bank.
Not even the real. It didn't have to be the real version of Vision. It could have just been her imaginary version of Vision.
Hey, hear me out.
Made the kids without him, right?
Yeah, right. In our reality, Vision got killed. She mourned. She made kids and made a Vision. And the reality, the body she took over, Thanos never made it to Wakanda to kill Vision because he died on Titan. So that Vision is still alive somewhere.
That's on Earth 838 only.
Yeah,
but if that Vision's still alive somewhere, then maybe they could have put the Vision in the movie.
That's why there was no hex in 838.
For real kids, if he was still alive, those might have been
right. That's why they didn't know how powerful Wanda really was.
Let me ask you. Let me ask Josh. Josh, do you feel like they could have put Vision in here somewhere, or was he lacking in the movie? What do you think?
I definitely feel like they could have somewhere, but there's a reason why they didn't. Because I don't feel like with all the different multiverses, right? There's no way that you have a reality where Vision can exist without the Mind Stone. Right. So even in our 616, there's a Vision existing without the Mind Stone.
Yeah.
So again, there's a reason why they didn't. So I've accepted that reason. So I'm just curious to see how they're going to demonstrate why they did that. Because there's a reason for it. There's a reason for all this. We understand this. Feige, we trust. We may not agree or like it all the way. That's our subjective opinion. I get that, but I trust the tutelage. So I'm just going to see where it's going, and that's the mindset I have.
Can I just say one thing about it? I assumed that Vision had to be there if those were his kids. Like I'm not going to assume.
No. To Dave's point, there is no Vision sperm. You get me?
Well,
he's a robot.
She could make up her own. She could make up whatever she wants.
Right.
But my point is, which Wanda are you guys complaining about Vision with? Because
it's not two though. It's not two. It's several multiverses.
It's several multiverses she went to.
what they showed us was the main the Wanda. Wait, hold up. That wasn't the same Wanda. That looked like the same Wanda that said I got to go to my kids.
Yes, but that was from a different multiverse. That
How?
multiverse.
She was bleeding and she had the blood all over her.
No, that was the one in the white shirt. The one in the green shirt never left. Remember, her kids started singing Ice Cream, and she ended up staying and waking up when Wong woke up.
All right.
Yeah. So she was visiting different multiverses. All them balls were all multiverses where her kids were, where the hex was still active. I'm gonna just call it what it was.
Well, I don't know.
And the first dream, that was a whole different multiverse when she first woke up.
Yeah,
the one we saw later on.
What if the hex wasn't active and she just in love with Vision like she always was? He's still alive.
If the hex wasn't active, them kids wouldn't be there.
Well, no. Let me just.
How do we know?
Let me just say this. Let me just finish this thought really quick.
What
if she goes into the other, like she were in the other multiverse? This is what I assumed as a person who does not read comics. She went in the other universe. Vision was still alive, but she manifested kids for them to have a family. Because she know he's a robot, she's a witch. She can just make kids. That doesn't mean that he's dead. It doesn't mean the whole thing's a hex. She could literally just make beings,
what I'm talking about.
and she doesn't have to control everything. She could have just made the beings. And
yes, sir.
That's it.
No being the whole thing about her having to destroy the hex, that would have been the end result of WandaVision, where she's gonna keep the kids and just destroy the hex. But it wasn't the case. Wanda. That's every Wanda. That was the rules of that hex. The rules of her hex powers are once she stops using her powers, whatever constructs were created also go away.
But what about Herman in the Orchard with the apple?
Say it again.
Herman in the Orchard with the apple. That wasn't real. It was
none of it was real. Even Dr. Strange remarks that. He says.
So I guess what y'all saying is that there's a plot hole or question. So why did she create the hex and the other Vision was still alive? What will make her create the hex?
Because she wants kids. She still
wants kids. Wants children with him.
Here's my thing. I was trying to say this for like 5 minutes. It's possible, very highly possible, that in one of the other realities, everything with Thanos goes according to plan. He rips the Mind Stone out, everything. She goes and makes a hex, but this Wanda or that Wanda has already come to grips with Vision's death. But she doesn't want to be alone, so she makes 2 children without making the Vision. Those could be those realities where she just creates just the 2 children.
Right.
You say?
But the kids look like him. She didn't just make. You have to remember.
Well, the kids look like her memory of them.
Well, no, listen. The kids, if he's still alive, right? You know, her man is there. They eating love and stuff, and she like, I want to have a baby by you, but you're a robot, man, and you don't have sperm. What is she gonna do? Oh, let me just make myself pregnant with your children, and we'll raise them together in this beautiful home.
So you guys,
none of them look like Vision, though. None of the kids to me look like Vision.
They look like.
You guys remember how
one's white, one's red.
In the series finale, the season 1 finale of Loki, where you have the time branches and everything.
Yeah.
Right.
There's a possibility that all this, because I think everyone has had a theory that a lot of these events are happening simultaneously, right? So there's a very real possibility that Vision could have been perhaps fighting with another Vision or figuring it out.
Yeah, I was thinking that, like, at work.
They just didn't show it. So it could pop up in a different movie.
I think it's gonna pop up in the next. I think the next time we see her with her kids, he's gonna pop out like, "Hey, baby, I'm home." Because why would you develop the whole character of Vision as a human if they're not
white Vision right now? So that's probably who they're gonna focus on.
I'm still sticking with the theory that next time we see Vision, will be in Black Panther 2. I'm still sticking with that.
I don't see that.
I don't see that
either.
He probably flew to Wakanda, the white one. When
I could definitely see that. I could see him.
I think he did, because his last living memory was in Wakanda of Vision. So when Vision implanted his memories, he's like, yo, they were fixing me.
Sure,
when I left.
Specifically, yeah, like he gonna go find Shuri.
He's gonna go find Shuri and be like, yo, finish the job. Bitch, you left me half-ass out here, like, you know.
Right, we're gonna say, well, let's move forward from Wanda and Vision, or WandaVision, and let's talk about Chloe. You had thoughts on her, so I want to get it on the mic as well about America Chavez. So, what were your problems with the Chavez character, or good aspects of it?
I think that it was out of left field. As far as like, as a person who watches the Disney series, I never even knew about this chick. Like, I've never seen her. I've never heard of her. And then she just happens to be running in the screen, and then the whole movie's about her. So I'm like, I feel like I would have accepted it more if it was like Doctor Strange in America or something. Like, I was expecting it to just be a movie about like Doctor Strange and Wong, and maybe have like Ned in there or something. I did not expect the movie to have like this new character, even though it makes sense now that I know what she does. Yes, that makes sense. But I feel like her backstory could have been developed a little bit more. Like all we knew is she's a glimpse of her moms together, and then she like banished them into the multiverse, and that was it. Like I wanted more of her backstory. Like I feel like they should have made that. I think they should have had a show of her in addition to WandaVision. I don't know. They should have introduced her before, because I don't have any investment in that character at all. But she's important supposedly, so I don't know.
All right, E, how you felt about America Chavez?
Well, me as a person, I knew who she was from the gate, from the comic books and stuff like that. Now, if I look at it from my kids' point of view, my kids knew who she was from cartoons and stuff like that. So they had no problem knowing who she was. They were actually hyped. Like, oh yeah, we got American Chavez now. So they was gassed up about that. I thought they did good. I mean, as her type of character, I feel like she's not that big of a deal to me. She's a big deal in the MCU, well, in the Marvel universe period. But I feel like she didn't need a big show, a whole show, or all that to like know who she was. Simple. Her powers came when she was on her planet. She didn't know how to control them. She was young. Her parents got sucked into the void. Since she was young, she didn't know how to control them. That's just what it was. As she got older, she don't know how she sent them there. I get it. I get it. I do. I get it. I thought it was simple. It was easy.
Yeah, I got my thoughts on her too. But Josh, what do you feel about her and her in this movie in particular?
It was an interesting character because again, I never knew about her. You know, if you do a little Google research, it says her character first appeared in 2011, I believe.
Yeah. So most of the kids would like know her.
Right.
Like
so
most of the only kids, yeah.
So I was actually thinking about what we were talking about on Mental Theater, where this is why I feel like they peaked, because you have a bunch of new characters, and the core of your fans are like you guys, right? Even though you guys read comics now, not everyone reads all those comics, but are still interested in Marvel and whatnot. So they might have more of a, let's say, emotional attachment to the main characters. This is why I keep saying like Thor is going to be pivotal, because he's still a original Avenger.
Yeah, original Avenger.
His arc is going to have to be sound. Same thing with Tom Holland and Spider-Man. Like those are going to have to be sound, because if you think about who's going to be replacing some footsteps, right? You got to think about, Doctor Strange kind of being somewhat leader of the Avengers now, because I think he's a seasoned pro. He understands where this threat is coming from. So things like that. And then you have someone like Reed Richards. So he's going to take that intellectual spot of Tony Stark.
And then we still gonna have Sam Cap.
Exactly. And apparently America Chavez becomes Captain America in the comics as well.
Josh, how do you feel about how they use her in the movie though? America.
I believe it's Dave's favorite term. What term is that, Dave?
The MacGuffin.
That's what I believe.
MacGuffin.
All right, Dave, your thoughts on her? How do you do in the movie? Stuff like that?
I hate this is where the movie took its point hit from me. She's not the same character that I fell in love with growing up. Yeah, she's not growing up. I'm saying growing up, like growing up. I was already fucking grown when she came out. You stop playing.
Right.
Since I've been reading her, all right, I've never seen a weaker version of America Chavez in my whole life. And I don't want to hear that shit that she's young. All right. Every one of the young Avengers are going to be young. That's why they're going to be called the Young Avengers, not the middle-aged Avengers. So
not that young. That's mad young.
They're young. They're teenagers. They're a band of teenagers.
They're not that young, man.
Yes, they are. Yes, Okay, America Chavez is old as fuck, but alien years don't range the same way ours do. Our 17 would be like their 22,000. So I'm serious. So what we're saying when they were young, because Thanos in was like 60,000 years old. Or some shit. And
because he's from a different planet, right? So
yeah, he's from a different planet, so they age differently. So in the utopian parallel, you can pretty much almost live forever, unless something comes in that harms you. At any rate, I expected going into this movie to see an America Chavez who would be able to fly, at least by the end of the movie, be able to fly, be able to throw a bus, be able to knock Gargantos on his ass by herself. and give Gargantos a black eye around that one eye he had.
You mean Wanda?
All right, and she could. I wanted to see her throw Gargantos into the freaking sun, get hit by a nuclear missile, and dust it off. I want to see some attitude out of her.
You expected all that to happen in her first debut, Dave?
That's what I'm saying,
Josh. Listen, Josh. In her debut, that's just how the shit she was doing. When I first read her, that's what she was doing already. Like, you understand?
But again, in Hollywood, Dave, we all know this. You got to stretch it out.
No, you don't. You do not. You do not. You do not got to stretch it out.
Was 2008 Iron Man doing the same thing that as Endgame Iron Man was doing?
So did we see Thor? Did we see Thor go from a little kid all the way to a grown man?
Because of those alien years you spoke of.
Was Thor at any time ever weak? No.
Yes. The first movie when his powers got stripped.
Okay, that's the story of Thor. Okay, you're right. Correction. E is correct. He was weak then, but he was strong before that, right?
Right.
Before he got his powers took. So
yeah.
So he started out strong. American Chavez also started out strong.
Mighty Thor. Don't talk about that.
So basically, I felt like they took every power away from her that she has and left a young Mexican girl with the power of immigration.
But she's an alien.
Think about this. What? She's an alien who kicks stars to go to other lands illegally.
She was
the only power she got, yo. Am I wrong?
She's an illegal alien?
Metaphorically.
Am I wrong?
Metaphorically, he's right.
You right on. You spot on.
Right.
Metaphorically, yes.
So
I would love to see. I wouldn't want to see a far more. I want to see a far more powerful version of her. And yeah, that's like the Supreme Court is Illuminati. Like the Supreme Court. One old white chick and a bunch of old white men. But now let's move on. I felt like they diluted her and watered her down to like almost nothing. And she became a damsel in distress throughout the whole movie.
You said a immigrant, and she was speaking Spanish.
Right, but if you can't control your power, just to your example, like Thor didn't realize he was the Thunderer until Ragnarok.
But I know if I have the power to throw a car at somebody, I know just by picking up a spoon. Well, this spoon is like super duper light.
But does she have that power in the MCU? That's the question.
She's supposed to. Something like that. And when you put it in the terms of the comic, she's supposed to. I can guarantee you that by the time Young Avengers rolls around, she would have developed all those abilities.
Again,
that nobody saw in Doctor Strange.
There's no reason why she can't. She almost punched her way out the glass, right? That's number one. Number two. Again, if she's going,
that's when I thought. See, Josh, that's what I said. At least by the end,
if she's going through these different universes, is she really going to go to each universe? Oh, I want to punch a car. That's she's not thinking about that.
No. But see, that's what I said about the end of the movie.
Wait, hold up.
If you want to give her one movie, sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead. No, you good. No, I was just saying. Until you know what you're saying, she did show super strength. She was the only one that hit Wanda in the face.
Where's her power of flight? Where's her power of indestructibility? She's smart as fuck. Like
she's gonna get there. I think she's the only one that hit Wanda in the face.
I think I would have liked her probably more if she came out flying and stuff. Because then I'd be like, all right, that makes sense.
If they would have, I thought they were gonna make her more like a helper to Doctor Strange. She was a hamper. She was a hamper to Doctor Strange.
Well, she helped him metaphorically. She helped him on his individual journey from
by running, screaming and running.
So I want to say a combination of everything you guys said. I think that the helping part, I think because she's been traveling through the multiverse for like 10 years on her own, because she was a little kid, and the fact that she said she's been to 73 multiverses, she could have explained the rules of the multiverse more to the audience, because
they can't because they didn't know him. They didn't know him. They don't know him.
Yeah, but all she said was food is free and everything can happen. I felt like she could have been our exposition for more of the multiverse, because if you look at Loki, if you look at this Spider-Man, it's like all three movies got different rules. It's like it's all over the place, stuff like that.
Well, the free food rule was fake because she had to
exactly, and that wasn't even real.
That's right. So, she only been to 73. You know what I'm
saying? So Shadi did her. They had her stealing. The moment she get in America, first thing she do is steal. Like
Oh, this guy.
I agree with Chloe about the fact that she just kind of showed up. I felt like they should have did like a maybe a epilogue, or maybe like they did with what's his name, Peter Quill in the beginning, where they show more of her backstory before they put it on the screen, stuff like that.
She's
Like
also LGBTQ.
She is. Her moms are actually half.
They showed her mom's work.
Actually, half of the young Avengers are. It's gonna be like a gay movie.
Half of the yes,
yeah. Half of the young Avengers. It is, Joe. That's what Hulkling is gay.
Ultimate Nullifier is gay.
Wanda's son is gay.
Wanda's son.
Wanda's son is gay. Yep. Yeah.
But it's about inclusion, right? The Avengers is supposed to mirror like real life. And right now we're in a space of inclusion. So but I just feel like it's like fan service. Is that what you guys call it when they just do
stuff? Yep. When they just do
agendas, yes.
Well, yes, but it's also like they're putting it. I feel like they're just putting it in places that doesn't have to be there. Like they're representing people, but I feel like they should have specified representation. I guess they're trying to just represent everyone. So it's like a little bit overkill for something.
Yo, with America by herself, right? You get everything. You get women represented. You get LGBTQ represented. You get people of color represented. You get it all in one person.
In one person.
Yeah.
Like, let's split it up. I don't know. It just seems a little too much.
I mean, some people said that about Black Panther.
Right. It don't bother me.
But they was in Africa.
And nobody was gay there.
No, I say that.
There was because the guy who was in Eternals, he went to Wakanda. Fastos. And
How do we know he went to Wakanda though?
Because he talked about Wakanda tech.
He helped them develop the vibranium tech.
Yeah.
Even that though was kind of like a in your face when they had it with the husband. I feel like. I mean, I get the inclusion, but I feel like sometimes it can be in your face. I agree with you as well.
Well, no, too much in one character. Like, just give me because she's the first Hispanic character, right?
Latino, yeah.
Well, why couldn't they just let her be Latino? And
but she's an alien though.
That's how they do her in the comics though, Chloe. They do her in the comics the way you want her done. Like they got she's respected. She's like, people look up to her. That's how they do her in the comics. Here, this was the weakest representation of her I've ever seen in my life. It felt
I kind of agree with Josh though too, Dave.
One of my favorite characters.
I agree with Josh as far as movie building. Like you build up. Like,
you gotta build her up, yo. Yeah.
You just said it, Dave.
No. But it takes you can build somebody up in a movie. You can build somebody up in one movie.
You just said it to your girl about Wanda, right? You said in Age of Ultron she was weaker, but now she's much stronger.
Okay, there's two different things. You're talking about witchcraft versus strength, bro. Witchcraft takes practice and nuance. Strength takes fucking an idiot in the hand, bro. That's it. So I don't think you have to factor all this. My strength.
Now you
what if they make her use
how do I have to? I have to learn how to take this nuclear bomb to the chest.
But what if they're doing it where she, remember how her eyes lit up and stuff? What if they're doing it like when her eyes light up, she gets like that?
Then I would have been. Answer. It would have been great if they would have showed that by the end of the movie.
They did.
No, they didn't. They showed her making sparks. At fucking.
Yeah.
Ned could do that, bro. Ned Flanders, but Ned Lee can make sparks, bro. He can make a whole portal. They got her the most powerful.
Maybe
Avenger.
super strength won't be on her powers. You know the MC changed powers on time.
You know what? Then Iron Man. You know what? They should have took away his suit. They should have just made Tony Stark.
They change powers all the time, bro. The MCU. That's what they do.
No. MCU don't necessarily change powers. They may leave some out, put some in, exaggerate some. They never just strip down the character. This is the first time a character has been stripped down.
She wasn't like nothing. She still made portals like she always did.
What about the Hulk?
The Hulk was it? Hulk was what? Stripped? But it wasn't stripped of everything. He was straight. He still had his intelligence. He still had all his knowledge. He still was able to attack.
And she still had her portals.
She's not
Banner.
That's all. That's all. What I'm trying to say is that's all she had was her portals.
Nah, all right, the Hulk strong enough to punch Wanda.
She did, and she punched
the glass. She's not just all right. So as strong as America Chavez is, if she would have punched Wanda, Wanda's head should have been flying through a multiversal portal somewhere.
Hell no, Wanda is.
Wanda's a human. It's a human body.
Is it not two beings battling? So of course, gonna be able to just hit somebody's head off. They're too next.
Right.
To
Man.
Next is
So
Beast.
yo,
That's Scarlet Witch.
would you expect the Hulk to punch her head off?
No.
I expect her to
So
turn
no
no
one
to silly putty.
Bro,
Okay.
they showed that in What If.
All right, I'm just gonna go ahead and just.
You
I'm
see
still
what
gonna
happened at the
remain.
Hulk?
Yo, this is not a thing where you guys get to change my mind. She's
Okay,
fucking
okay,
weak,
all
bro. I could beat that bitch ass right now. I could beat her up.
Nah,
I
I'm taking
could
America,
beat her
bro.
up.
I'm taking
I'm
America.
Definitely.
You take America for what? What's she gonna do? Run from me?
All right, Dave.
She gonna run from me, bro? She gonna
All
run
right,
from me
Dave.
or what?
All right, no. To your point, Dave. If she's going to 73 different multiverses, she's going to go there as a girl of her age, right? In real life,
Right, a little girl.
Right? That's how she's going to experience. She's not going to go around punching the Statue of Liberty. I'm gonna go to Russia and get a bunch of nuclear bombs.
I'm trying to make a joke of it, but in reality, they dumbed her down and they took away 95% of what she does.
Right, but she hasn't needed to use it yet. They
left basically what she looks like and the fact that she can run. That's it.
Yo,
everything else.
Dave, to your point, I think per movie they have to either OP or nerf characters. Like a lot of people say Doctor Strange was nerfed in Spider-Man No Way Home. He's more powerful.
He definitely was.
Right, because today, that man, listen, that boy was tearing shit up.
What does that mean, nerfed? And what does that mean?
Like weakened down, like if you take something and you make it weak,
their powers.
You turn it to like a Nerf bullet.
Like look at a real,
like a
Nerf
bullet.
gun.
Okay.
Yeah, real gun, and then a Nerf gun.
And OP means overpowered, like Wanda was in this movie.
Okay.
So these are like movie comic terms, Flo. But yeah, you get it.
I'm gonna have to write these. Let me jot these down.
All right, let me move forward, man. From America, we haven't talked about. We've been on here for 46 minutes. Haven't talked about Doctor Strange in his movie. So let's talk about Doctor Strange.
Wow, that says a lot.
Which one? Which one?
How they presented Strange. Let's start with the original one and his whole arc. Dave, since you've been wanting to get into, I mean, how you feel about Strange? How he was used in the movie?
We're talking about the 616 Strange, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so my question was, Christine. This is an all-topic question, not about Strange, real quick. Right. Christine in the movie tells him that the Earth's been designated 616.
Yeah.
How the fuck did Quentin Beck know that? And Mysterio and Far From Home. He's Mysterio. He's Mysterio and Far From Home. How did he know that if he wasn't from the multiverse?
They say he's made it up. So.
Yeah,
what a coincidence! I happen to make up out of all the multiverses the exact one that this is.
Maybe
okay.
I don't know if that was a plot hole or they're gonna touch on that later. Because
all right. Anyway,
that's how I feel like that they was showing us the multiverse. I feel like that's how Iron Man and Thanos really knew each other through those dream visions.
Oh, fact.
The multiverse, basically, right? That's why he was like, I know of you, even though it was also because of the nuke and stuff, but also because of that.
Here's a second question. Speaking of them dream visions, right? At the beginning of Endgame, didn't Tony say he had a dream that seemed like all too real?
That's what he's talking about.
Yeah. And then immediately Doctor Strange shows up right afterward. I just thought that was a little coincidence too. But nah, in terms of Doctor Strange, Mike, I kind of like the first Doctor Strange movie better. His character in that one better.
Nah.
Yeah, I kind of like this one. I liked him better than this one here. This one here seemed very angsty.
I love this one.
Very weird, and he was dependent on Wong. It felt like he was dependent on. Yes, he was. He felt like he was dependent on Wong.
A giant cat head caught a damn car from crushing somebody. A giant what? What? Doctor Strange. Okay.
When I say dependent on Wong, I mean Benedict Cumberbatch could not carry this movie without Wong next to him through half of the movie, or at least 3/4 of the movie.
I mean, Wong is Sorcerer Supreme, bro.
Sorcerer Supreme. Wong is Sorcerer Supreme.
Go source something. This is this. I'm like, bro, like no offense, but this is Doctor Strange. We're already getting Christine as a main character, and then Wong is a main character. Now these two other main characters on top of the first main character. Now I gotta protect this fourth main character, who was pretty much helpless.
For Doctor Strange with the ponytail.
Doctor Strange, except for Doctor Strange with the ponytail. That one is dope. That was Defender Strange. I think we should have dealt with that one the whole movie because he was about it. But yeah, this one here, this one here. I felt like he wasn't as committed as the first movie. I felt like he was questioning himself, and I don't know about y'all, but I don't like Doctor Strange, the Sorcerer Supreme, not being the Sorcerer Supreme in the MCU for several movies now.
I don't like that either, but I feel like they're gonna do that. I like it because it's more authentic to the snack. I like that. I feel like Thanos messed shit up, and that's what. But
I think it's time for Wong. I think it's time for Wong to either shit or get off the pot because there's only one Sorcerer Supreme, bro. And
I thought Wong was great. I thought Wong was great in this movie, though. He did what he ever did. I felt like.
I think he did good too. But I feel like the next Doctor Strange is gonna blow. Put Wong back in his place.
I'm not.
I do.
All right, wait. So you talking? What you thought about Strange in this movie, though?
I loved him. I loved him in this movie. I like how arrogant he was. I like when he was doing his spells and the magic, and he was like making the sound effects with his face and stuff. Because in a lot of movies with that, like Willow, remember when she turned into pigs and she was snarling and doing all that? I feel like that has a lot to do with sorcery and magic. So I thought he did good. I mean, come on, a giant cat head caught a damn.
Bro, everybody's cat head one more time, bro.
Yo, it's crazy. I thought that shit was crazy. 4 days, the fucking monster hands grabbing the joint. Man, his magic game was up. The fucking dragon snake things coming out. Like his magic game was up. Only thing that really annoyed me a little bit was that music fight. They could have did that shit without.
We'll get to that. Yeah,
we'll get to that.
That annoyed me.
All right, Khalil, how you feel about Strange in this movie?
Great.
I think if it was just one Strange, I wouldn't have liked it as much. I like the fact that there are several Stranges, and for me, it kind of like the last, I guess, depiction of Doctor Strange I had was in the What If series. So I think that if I didn't watch the What If series, I would have been like more impressed with this.
Okay.
But because I watched the What If series and I understood like how powerful he actually became and like his dedication to sorcery, I think that he did pretty good. Like I for one like the fight with the music. That was probably the most entertaining fight for me. Because it was magic, like Harry Potter fighting. But I also thought that I don't know, it was kind of cool to see him a little humble. Like at her wedding, he was a little humble. And which was
that was like talking to barbershop. That was talking to barbershop too. Like, why would he even go to the wedding?
Because that's
why not? Why wouldn't he go?
Yeah,
that sounds
crazy. Go ahead, Josh.
Why wouldn't he go?
Well, he went, and then the boyfriend. I mean, the husband was
was a fan. Yeah, he was
a fan. So that was a boost to his ego to go.
Right. That was good.
That's like Layla and Steven.
Okay, how you felt about Strange in the movie, Josh?
For me, I like this Doctor Strange a lot because essentially you see the balance, and this is why I appreciate Wong getting more respect. Right, the whole aspect of bowing, Sorcerer Supreme. Because if you really think about it,
you're right. You're right.
So all right, look about it this way. I looked at it, and I couldn't help but look at it like Sherlock Holmes. Since Benedict was Sherlock Holmes, right? The whole brilliance behind Sherlock is the fact that he is outside the law, so he's able to do more. Similar to someone like Wong, who has the respect of the role, like a president, like that title of the Sorcerer Supreme, because Wong is more responsible, right? He's going to protect everyone first. He takes less risk, and our multiverse, let's say the MCU 616, they need that, right? So for me, if you look at Stephen Strange as a character, as America Chavez says, absolute power corrupts absolutely, and with that amount of power and ability and his imagination, he's typically going to take those risks and do things that he shouldn't do. So to me, I don't think he should be the Sorcerer Supreme, right? It'd be easier to have that as your homeboy who can, be like, I'm gonna give you a speeding ticket for this because you literally did save the multiverse. You broke a whole bunch of ancient rules, right? But we needed you to do that because Wong is never going to take those chances, but Wong is also going to protect everybody else. So that, to me, that balance was key. I appreciate they did that. They did him justice for that. And I feel like now that, and again, it's a bit of a projection, right? I feel like prediction. Doctor Strange is going to create the Illuminati and our 616, so you can introduce people like, Reed Richards and things like that. And I think it's gonna, because I feel like in the multiverse, the only way that 616 can survive is with an Illuminati, and I'm sure Doctor Strange saw that as well. So I like where his character arc is going, and I like how he's taking leadership of the, let's say, the Avengers in this multiverse war. He's going to be the main character for me.
I feel like that I'll lump Wong into Doctor Strange. I feel like that I agree with Dave. Like I can see we want to get Doctor Strange back as the Sorcerer Supreme, but sometimes with Wong, he seems so sidelined. So I'm happy they gave him more to do this time. And I feel like the only way to do that is to make him Sorcerer Supreme. It's kind of like a catch-22, because in in Doctor Strange 1, he had like small roles, and other movies he's been in Doctor Strange with. Even in Spider-Man No Way Home, he said like 4 lines and then left, like I'm out. So it's like he's always sidelined. So I feel like I love to see that they had a character or more to do. Even in Avengers, he was like, I'm about to go buy a sandwich, and he did like a little bit of stuff in Infinity War. So I felt like that. So as far as Strange is concerned, I don't know, man. This Strange was like, I felt like from a movie, like it was a competition between like the writing and the directing almost. Like I felt like sometimes he was like, so sure of himself. Sometimes he wasn't. The stuff with Christine, I never felt the chemistry between them. Like I'm with Chloe. The what if Strange, I felt that how much he loves her, but in this movie it was kind of like, I don't know, a little off and on. I feel like he was written better in What If than he was in this movie overall. As far as what he did, I felt like the powers were great. Like the visuals, his powers are always dope,
Yeah.
Even going back to like Infinity War, stuff like that. So I feel like that was awesome. Yeah. I mean, I like his powers the most in Infinity War when he fought Thanos, but it's neither here nor there. Yeah. I felt like that. But sometimes, him and America didn't have chemistry to me that much. He felt like a babysitter a little bit. There's a lot they did I didn't like, but a lot I did like. So it's like a little bit of a mixed bag for me with the whole Strange situation. And I did like Defender Strange. Sinister Strange wasn't used enough, or the one with the he didn't even say the line from the trailer. I was like, yeah, that's not.
I know.
Thank you.
Yeah. So I felt like that. I felt like it was a cool Sam Raimi trope to have the zombie Strange. So that was pretty cool, as well. But as far as the main Strange, I don't know. It's almost like after they saved the world from Thanos, he'll have nothing to do. Kind of like he's a little like bored or something like that. I don't know how to explain it.
I mean, that one spell,
even like Mount
using the dark hold with a dead corpse, like that level of imagination, like that's the gray area that Stephen Strange occupied. That's necessary.
Yeah, but then Josh, when you said that he needs to have a Sorcerer Supreme himself to check him, I feel like Wong never checks him. I feel like
he definitely does. He definitely does.
I feel like he says shit, but he don't do shit about it. And Strange will do what he wants. Even when he left for the Spider-Man, he was like, "Don't do that, Strange." Strange like, "Yeah, okay, I'm gonna do it anyway."
That's what I'm saying. He is the voice of reason. The Ancient One said he is the best of them for that reason. So again, with that level of risk, it's kind of like looking at it like if you have like a town, right, or like a kingdom, and you have a castle. So the Sorcerer Supreme is he's the king. He's supposed to protect the castle. So Wong is the person who goes with the people, like all the citizens. You go protect them in the keep. Like if shit hits the fan, you're leading us. And I feel like they demonstrated Wong has that ability in this movie. So I appreciate they put some respect on his name. And you sir, Mr. Love, Shang-Chi. Wong is in there, so he's going to be an influential figure going forward.
I feel like there's no checks and balances though. I feel like Wong is the voice of reason, but it's almost like where your mom says, like, when you're a kid, don't do something, but you still do it. You're gonna get in trouble if you do it. Strange never in trouble.
But the only
reason he don't even look like the sorcerer. Wong don't even look like the sorcerer.
That builds character. Y'all know that, right? That
builds character. And he needs to do it. If he's not gonna do those things, what's gonna happen?
Right.
If you go by the book in these situations, what's going to happen?
He's the best of them because he takes the
Destruction,
most risk.
annihilation, literally. So if you have that inaction, everything ceases to exist, which is why you have to act, which is why Wong has that leash. Like he makes it, like to your point, Mike, he gives that voice of reason. Then Stephen Strange says something witty, but clever, but facts, and like, you know what, you're right. Go do that. I'm gonna go protect the keep. They understand their roles. I appreciate that. And he Sorcerer Supreme, and at the end of the film, he bowed to him, showing the respect. Balance.
You saw what Supreme Strange did. He killed how many people?
Trillion people.
Yeah. Right.
Okay.
Right. So,
all right. Well, that's my thought. So let's get into the movie. You know, an hour talking about the characters. So it's basically broken up into 3 acts, and I felt like myself. The first act was great. Second act was not so great. The third act kind of came through. So in the first act, we start, and I can pretty much say this by my head because I've seen this too many times now. But in the first act, we do start with America, as we talked about, with Defender Strange, and then we see them getting chased by a monster who has ruins on it, and then we see Defender Strange deciding we can't beat this monster, decides to try to take her power, which would essentially kill her, before they get to the Book of Ashanti, and then
Book of Ashanti.
That's what it's called, the Book of Ashanti.
The Book of Ashanti, yeah.
Yeah, with a V.
It'll mesmerize you.
It did look pretty.
Yeah, it wasn't foolish. So the Book of Ashanti. So Strange says we can't. He's trying to take her power, which would kill her. Then the monster kills him, and then America uses her power at that point to create a portal, and then they both go through the portal, and then And also, we'll stop there. How you felt about that first scene, Dave, with Defender Strange and America?
I thought it was dope. Great way to start a movie. It's always in the middle of an action piece. I like the fact that they gave her no introduction either. Like, I know that other people who never saw her before were like, "Who the hell is that?" So I kind of like the fact that I already knew who it was from Rip. Very action-packed scene. Very Strange-like of him to be like, listen, this is a sacrifice. Because if you remember in Infinity War, he said the same shit. He said basically, yeah. I would sacrifice you guys. He said it in Infinity War. He said it again in Spider-Man about the villains. Yeah. He said their sacrifice for the greatest. Yeah. That's the Strange I like, man. The Strange that's like one of just laid on the line and fuck, we got to get this shit done. So yeah, that scene was awesome. I think to open the movie with. I had such high hopes at that point. Yeah.
All right, E. The first scene with America and Defender Strange.
I liked it. I liked it from the game. I didn't really like the squiggly line monster. I thought they could have did better with that. Give me something uglier or something crazier looking. But as far as that, when they were speaking Spanish, I was like, I think I'm in the wrong joint.
That's hilarious.
I was like, I had to look. I'm like, oh, all right. They started talking. I'm like, all right, we're good.
Chloe, how you put him in that first scene?
You know what, E? I'm not gonna hold you because I was that thought definitely crossed my mind. I was like, hold up, it's like when you press the button on your remote by accident and everything turned to Spanish. You like, hold up, like him. I need to brush up on my Espanol, but
Josh?
Yeah. So,
sorry, go ahead.
Wow, okay. We're going. It's Josh.
No. Go ahead, Chloe.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
He like she talking too much. Let's move.
No. You know you my homie, Chloe. Go ahead, man.
Yeah, you gave it an Oscar treatment. Damn, big
right. I played the music.
All right. It was cool. I'm gonna leave it at that.
All right, Josh.
As everyone reiterated, I'm reiterating what everyone said. It was incredibly visually like this is what going into the film we expected scenes like that. So to Dave's point, to E's point, fantastic. I loved it. It was obvious it was a dream for me because it was like it was just way too out there. It was dream type content for me. Even with someone like Doctor Strange, even with the multiverse, it was too much of a dream. And let's be honest, we knew he wasn't gonna actually die. Our 616 Doctor Strange. So
well, when I saw the ponytail, I knew.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I thought like Dave said, it was calling back and foreshadowing how Strange thinks. Like I'm all about protecting the whole reality. If I got to kill somebody to do it, I'll do it. Like Dave said in Infinity War, he told Tony, "Listen, if you and the kid,
boy, yeah,
you gotta die for the position. Y'all got to go.
He dies.
Right, basically." So I felt like it was Strange. My favorite part, I like when he froze the monster with the ice. I thought that was a good spell that he used. You know, something we never seen before him used in the movies yet. So I thought that was pretty dope. I'm like, look at the Iceman in this movie, like that. So I thought that was awesome as well. Then, like Josh said, it is 616 waking up from the dream, and then he gets ready to go to the wedding. We get the whole wedding scene, him and Christine and stuff like that, and then the doctor from Doctor Strange 1 was there, I guess, for a small cameo. But then we get the noise outside, and we see Strange leave the wedding. Got the pocket square with the cloak in there, and which was a dope visual to me. And then we get the whole scene that we've already seen a bunch of times beforehand, but with him fighting Gargantos, and stuff like that.
She Megantos.
Anyway,
What was his name?
And that whole scene, and then we get, like up until the fact that they actually beat Wong comes and they beat this they beat Gargantos. Josh, how you felt about that whole part then?
As I said before, you needed personalities and characters and superheroes to replace massive shoes. And I feel like Doctor Strange and this opening scene at the wedding, this is exactly something that we would see Tony Stark do, right? Start having the Stark tech and the Iron Man suits pop up in different place. The fact that he, used the spell on the cloak, and and then had it as a pocket square, like that's exactly how. If Tony Stark, because they switch roles sometimes, right? If Tony Stark was the Sorcerer Supreme and had the cloak, he would be doing something similar. So I instantly saw parallels. I thought that was great, and I was like, Marvel does such an amazing job demonstrating what being a superhero would look like in real life. You're at a wedding, you're at amazing, and
right.
Even it's a fair question, right? Even if it's your ex, but she was holding you down when you was going through your crisis. You kind of pushed her away. So to me, I understand why he went. Like, I understand why people say he shouldn't have gone in the barbershop. I understand that. But considering their past, specifically in the 616, I understand why he went, to show respect. Like, let's be honest, he doesn't have time to date anyway, being the sorcerer.
Right. Yeah.
So it was illustrated in that scene with Gargantos. And I loved how, it showed a different threat because he was invisible first.
Yeah.
And then he revealed it.
Yeah.
So I think that's gonna be a trend we'll see in the multiverse to come with the incursions, that we're gonna see an impact on reality that's invisible to the human eyes, probably because of UV rays, because things from different dimensions, different realities have different lighting that you can see or you can't see. So I think that's going to be a trend going forward.
All right, Chloe, you got all the time in the world. How you felt about that part up until when they beat the one-eyed Gargantos?
So before I get into that, I like the fact that it was a dream. Like, I like the whole fact that the dreams were like peeks into to alternate realities, because that's like a theory that I've always thought about, because I have like crazy dreams. But that was pretty cool to me. So the fact that it was a dream, it kind of set me up for the rest of the movie. Like, okay, it's about to go down. So then with the eyeball monster, I thought it was pretty gory for it to be a kid movie. Like, when they stabbed it in the eye and then pulled out the eyeball, and you could see the retina, and it was a little gory. I didn't expect this movie to be. I was like, okay, this is gonna be that type of movie. And I think that was just foreshadowing for the rest of the gore in the movie. And I'm not like a gore person, so it was kind of like, oh, they're doing this in a kid movie. So
that's where you mess up, though. Doctor Strange is not a kid movie. I think it's what rated M?
Right? That's PG-13.
PG-13. So yeah, PG-13. Not so much it's a teenager's movie. More teenagers. Like, yeah.
But I was, you don't expect that. Like, I wasn't expecting.
Oh yeah, of course.
The whole horror aspect. Yeah, you're thinking like, oh, Marvel, like it's gonna be a big bad, but it's not gonna be like, I'm not gonna see any blood or like guts.
Yeah.
This one got pretty real.
Marvel needs to get there already and just make that a normality, because that's some of their best. That's some of their best work, is when people are slaughtered, people die. The stakes are high. You know what I mean? It's not like a villain that wants knocking people out. like carnage. Like,
Right.
But she was burning people. It got like really, it got a little too dark for me.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't.
vaporizing people, busting people's heads open. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like if they're gonna do it, then do it. Don't go back and forth with it and stuff like that.
Thank you. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Because I feel like as soon as we get like Miss Marvel, they'll go back to like this PG nonsense or whatever. Like,
Well, Miss Marvel's gonna be geared for teenage girls anyway, so.
yeah. But anyway, Dave, how you felt about the wedding up until when they beat Gargantos?
Oh yeah, so that scene they introduced the main character of the whole movie, Christine Palmer. The main character, we meet our main character. She was in the middle of getting married. She had a superhero security guard, Doctor Strange, there, I guess, with her. I thought it was a scene they could have did without, honestly. Could have just cut this right out of the movie, put some other action pack or a cameo in here. Yeah, I mean, this is where I was started. Remember when I said I was like, oh, I had high hopes for the movie? Well, when they jumped to a wedding scene, I'm like, okay, so maybe this will be like 2 minutes, whatever. But then it ended up being a lot longer. They had an unnecessary cameo from a doctor who wasn't even good in the first one. Yeah, I mean, huh? No, I don't like
the arc of his growth.
Nah, Nick West, nah. Dr. West, nah.
Last time we saw him, like Doctor Strange was a totally different person. Like I just appreciate that story arc just from him being there. It's kind of like one of those totems.
It was the kind of payoff cameo that I want to see. I would have rather saw Mordo there than see him.
That's
like
fair.
our Mordo.
Oh my god! He'd like the bill comes,
or the one-handed sorcerer, or Wong, or someone. Yeah.
I felt like the wedding having, I mean, whatever. But I feel like having that a regular moment for Strange outside of saving the world or doing something like this, going to a wedding. I felt like it's good to show his humanity still as well. Like,
ask you a question. Would it have to be a wedding, or could you have had him at a restaurant? Could you have had him anywhere else?
That's what I said. Anything.
The wedding.
Yeah.
It was about his love for Christine and how in every single version of the multiverse, he's in love with her, but he has to come to grips that he can never have her.
Right. And we saw that in What If. And I realized as soon as I saw that scene, I was like, I'm so glad that I watched What If, because that scene hit for me even more, because all the realities he went through, all the multiverses he went through, just to see if him and Christine work. So I understand that.
Well, that's when the horror started for me, because I was like, oh no, don't make this about the whole movie about him trying to get back with Christine. Don't do this. Don't pick up where What If left off. Like, I like where What If left off with that. Like, let What If be what it is. I felt
like this was the departure of Christine. This was like,
hopefully.
To me, it is.
As much shit as they gave her to do. Hold up.
It definitely is.
As much shit as they gave her to do in this movie, I'm thinking she about to get her own movie.
Well, it felt like a lot of people felt like she was underused in Doctor Strange 1.
Rightfully so. You're not a
Rachel
Mrs.
McAdams. She's not like some regular, like just random actress and shit like that. How you gonna have her and not use her? Shit like that.
Well,
like,
she also saved him, and she was always kind of like his little sidekick. Like, remember when she had to suture him up and stuff? Like, so I saw her as playing her in this version too. Like, I didn't see that scene that part.
First movie, that's exactly what she did. They played around with We Used to Go Out. Then he had the accident that she became carrying, then he kicked her out, and then she had to fix him up. That's fine. All that was done within the confines of her building, her hospital, and his apartment. You're now crossing multiversal planes with people.
I think
you're standing at the gap point junction of.
No, I agree with you, Dave. In the first movie, she was gone for like an hour and a half because when he was in like Carmitage and shit, and then came back later on.
And guess what? The movie was much more action packed. It was much more Strange focused. It was much more focused on the comics.
But I just think this was more realistic. There's no way.
Yeah, me too. That's what I'm saying.
Doctor Strange goes to a different multiverse.
I'm going to a comic book movie, bro. I'm not looking for realism.
That's just me. Like, yo.
In the other Christine, in the other multiverse, she had more knowledge of everything.
Yeah, so right.
She knew everything.
They gave her more to do. Like, Dave, listen. I'm sure these actresses and actors are like, even what's the one who plays Jane and Thor, stuff like that. Like
Natalie Portman.
She left the first time because like I want more to do. That's why now she's fucking Thor and shit like that. Like I'm sure Rachel McAdams the same way. Like you gotta have more to do to just like have a couple scenes and shit like that. I'm just saying.
So what you're saying, man? Soon we're gonna see Christine Palmer Strange, right?
No. Yo, MCU, come on, Dave.
Yeah, and I think Christine Palmer's done, like he said. I think this.
I'd rather stick with the way they had it in the comics than.
I think Christine is done. So
Christine is done.
Yeah, she's
done.
Hopefully
She's done.
This was their end.
You watched the same movie we saw?
Right.
You know she's done.
Wait. I think 616 is done. I think 838 is still on.
Yeah.
Nah, I think she's done.
838 dead,
and he's still got a whole other movie of multiverse shenanigans to go jumping through. So
you're
jumping through. We'll get to that later on. So
oh my God, Mama's about to kill us. Call Christine quick.
That's what it's gonna be. So after that we get I know how you feel about the scene over the East. So move forward. So after that we get I'm gonna move forward. I'll get to you first on this one. So we get Strange, Wong, and America at the coffee shop talking about where she's from, and she's explaining to her the whole thing. They're not believing her at first, obviously. They have a little banter about Spider-Man, whatever. Then she shows them the dead Strange and stuff like that, and then Wong realized the ruins on these monsters only a witch would know. And then we get Strange going to see Wanda and her apple orchard hex that she has on there, and then she makes the mistake of saying America's name, and then she unveils her plan, what she's been doing, and basically tells Strange, look, you got to later on the night let her go or I'm bringing the heat. So how you felt about all that?
I liked it because when he first let's go with the pizza spot. I like the pizza spot because he brought up, I love when they bring up other characters and it makes the world building bigger, so I love that. I like that she was eating pizza because she does that in the comics. Mm-hmm. She right? Don't she regenerate off of food in the comics or something like that? No. I would figure you would.
She just like street food, just like any other teenage girl. You wouldn't know that she's from in the comics. You won't know that she's an alien. She works as a motorcycle mechanic.
Right.
And so I mean, you wouldn't know. She just acts like a regular American girl, like American teenage girl, but. Here they,
hence American Chavez. I get it. All right, so I like that. Now as far as what happened after that part?
Oh, that's when they go to the top of the building and find the dead Strange.
Yeah. She showed the dead Strange. It's crazy how Strange just looked at his dead self and hurry up and covered it with rocks. I'd have been all into that body. Like, this me? I definitely would have been checking that body a little bit more to make sure that was like right. I'd have been like, what the?
He'd have been looking at his, you know what, shit. make sure this motherfucker slaying it right in another multiverse. You know what I'm saying?
Oh shit!
He said, taking that body out.
Yo, yeah, I just would have just covered it up with rocks, but I get it. It was done up, like,
and then they go see Wanda after that, or he goes see Wanda.
Now this is why I love that part, because the whole time when he let her know, I could tell that this ain't real. You get what I'm saying? I thought he knew everything. Like I thought he knew everything already, but turns out he's asking her for help, and then she's so eager that she says this girl's name without him knowing. And I said that to TJ in the movie. I'm like, yo, he ain't even ask the name. I mean, he didn't even tell her the name. And TJ's like, what? You sure? I'm like, he didn't say that name. And then she said it, and I was like, oh shit, here we go. Now I still like how. See, this is why this is my Dr. Strange. He didn't fold under pressure when she was talking shit. He kept talking shit. He kept poking at the bear. So I respect that all the way. He was not scared. It was like this is Doctor Strange. I don't know what you're talking about. This one's tougher than the first one.
Okay. Chloe, how you felt about all that up until the point where Wanda unveils her plan and what she's doing? Stuff.
I'm like, why did he go to her first? It was kind of weird. Like, he's like, oh, I know the perfect person who can help us, and go straight to the villain. I thought that was kind of naive on his part. Like, of all the people he talked to, that didn't seem like something the actual Doctor Strange would do, because I would think he's smarter than that. If you know this
What?
girl is being chased through multiverses, why would you go to her specifically for help? Like, I feel like he could have went to
Chaos
Wong,
magic.
but he couldn't. I feel like he was powerful enough to do stuff. Like, I don't. I
More
wouldn't.
powerful than chaos magic? Nah.
I would not have gone to Wanda right away. Like, I thought that setup was a little too quick. And she's like, "Ha ha." I'm the villain. Like, what? Like, that was unrealistic to me. Like, I wanted that character development of her to be more sneaky. She wasn't that sneaky, and then for her to say,
But she said that. She said it's hard to what she say? It's hard to lie, right? Like the hardest thing about doing this is lying because she
was lying to people.
What she got to lie for? She's Scarlet Witch, so she's not used to lying. She's used to just taking shit and getting it done. So I can see where she slipped up at. It was like
I kind of agree with I kind of agree with Chloe though. Like it was kind of fast, I guess.
What to go to chaos? The person that
not the chaos. I know what they say he went because of the ruins that were on the on those monsters. And then when Wong said, "Do we know anybody who's ever dealt with ruins before?" And Strange says, "Yeah, I know somebody," and he's referring to what happened at Westview. And then he gets there. First of all, he gets there, and she's like, "I knew you was gonna come one day about Westview." He's like, "Oh, don't worry about what happened at Westview. You know, you fixed it." I'm like, "What?" She had like a million people under a spell. She's like, "Are you crazy?" Like,
right, but there's something else going on crazier than that. I just see my own dead body, so I'm definitely not worried about that right now.
Okay, I mean, I just felt like it was a little. It was. I felt like
you just saw your own dead body, and you just felt like it was.
No, not Strange. I felt like to me, I'm with Chloe. I felt like it was a little fast. But Josh, let me get your opinion on that. What do you think about all of that?
It was definitely faster than I anticipated. Seeing, Wanda's story arc and then watching the show, I was surprised by the speed of her, descent into madness. But at the same time, if we're being honest, Agatha was essentially the Joker who all she had to do was push her as Harvey Dent and just pushed her into madness. Because let's be honest, she's not going to tell her the dangers of the Darkhold, right? Because that's her leverage. Knowledge is leverage, especially in witchcraft.
Remember, you're gonna need me.
And
technically, though, that means Agatha was right? Because she said in the show that you need to be destroyed because you're more powerful than the Sorcerer Supreme, stuff like that. So kind of Agatha was kind of right at the end of the day, I guess. If you really think about it.
I mean, she was always on her moral high horse, but at the same time, evil as fuck, right? So it's kind of like, the devil, and for Scarlet Witch, the devil she knows is her. Like I'm not gonna go to Agatha, not yet. I feel like afterwards, after we'll get to it later what happened to her in the end of the movie. But she after that, she's going directly to Agatha for some intel.
So you think we'll see Wanda and Agatha show on Disney Plus?
Absolutely, and we'll definitely see Agatha as a cameo in the MCU film for sure.
Okay, all right. So after that, after Wanda makes her threat, he comes back. Tells Wong about she's a Scarlet Witch, and Wong knows right away who that is, and he's very, very terrified. And then they hide America, and all the forces come to Carmitage. Forces from all of them, all over the world, all three different spots to set up the shield. Wanda comes, and then Strange goes up there. They have it back and forth. Now this whole Carmitage scene, the whole thing might be one of the best parts of the movie, right? So, so up until the point where Strange and America get away through the portal, Dave, how you felt about the whole Carmitage scene? Let's talk about that.
I thought it was pretty good. I didn't like the way she rolled up, like with all the black cloud smoke first, and then the giant. I guess it was her eyes or whatever the hell glowing, or her hands. She could have just rolled up as regular Scarlet Witch. Had she done that, they probably not have been ready.
But that's the Sam Raimi horror part of it.
I know. He's trying to do all his little hallmarks in here. But I mean, I just thought it was a little bit overblown for her to approach Carmitage in that fashion anyway. I never understood Carmitage either. Like when we see it in the beginning, it's in like an alley. It's in a door in an alley somewhere, right? Right? That he enters through the front door. But then they show Carmitage, and it's like this wide open expanse of all this space. That doesn't look like there's an alley anywhere near it.
It might be down below. You never know.
Down below what? They were on the top of the mountain. It seemed because she was flying above them.
Right. So it could be down below where it's
all the way down the mountain. That mountain they were on.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah.
That's a hell of a flight of steps.
Bro, they're sorcerers. They get there fast.
Right. Well, not all of them. Most of them are practicing. What's up, bitch? Most of them are practicing to be sorcerers. But anyway, and it's something funny too. I didn't comment on the scene prior to that. And Josh said something about it, and I wanted to bounce off of it real quick.
Go ahead.
In that, when he's in that orchard, whatever, or before that, when they find the runes, they're like, "Oh, it's a difference between sorcery and magic, and witchcraft." I mean, and you know what the difference between sorcery and witchcraft is? Is that sorcery is usually used for evil intentions, and witchcraft is usually used for good intentions. Not a lot of people know that. So, hearing him say that, I started thinking that Doctor Strange was going to be the villain of the movie after all, and he was going to require Wanda's help to beat him. That's what I started thinking at that point. And then you see this whole...
Wait, hold on. What? Say it again about the intentions?
Yeah, so in witchcraft or in magic, when you're talking about this, because I play a lot of these games that deal in this shit, and witchcraft is considered to be good. It's to be the good thing. If you're using witchcraft, it's supposed to be good. A person has to have some kind of mystical background, usually to be witchcraft or to produce witchcraft, right? Where a sorcerer can be a regular.
Yeah, I was gonna say, Dave.
It's pretty slow, bro.
Yeah, no, serious. So I'm not kidding.
It's just like the checkerboard of chess pieces. There's light and dark,
and almost every like cultural way they portray witchcraft, it's almost always evil, bro. Look at like I don't know. You can go all the way back. Look at what was that? Everything. What's that movie in the 90s with the 5 girls who became witches and shit like that?
Oh yeah.
The Craft, all evil. Like it's always some evil shit going on. All the witches and all the witches in True Blood, they were all evil witches. Like they're always evil witches.
And it seduces you similar.
Damn Wizard of Oz, the witches of the fucking West and East.
Charm, the TV show Charm. Anybody ever see that?
Yeah, Charm.
Yeah, Charm, they're good witches. Yeah.
No, so
Glinda was a good witch.
The Sith ones, they're evil witches. They're the evil space witches, the Sith.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, see that?
Yeah, we read it, bro. 4 stars already.
Yeah.
People believe in. What did it say?
But Dave, that's how it seduces you, right? So it's presented as good, as okay, but then ultimately it has its price, like the Darkhold with the black finger.
Even Agatha was an evil
well,
witch.
No. There was no price Strange had to pay before he started dealing with the Darkhold. Before that, when he was, I'm not saying that Doctor Strange is evil. I'm just saying that it threw me him saying that because I've heard from magic tomes and video games and movies that I've watched in the past that witchcraft is always considered to be like good. That's why the Scarlet Witch was a hero.
I've never heard that before, bro. I'm sorry. That's what you think. I've always heard witchcraft was bad more than anything.
You said the Scarlet Witch was a hero?
Scarlet Witch is a hero, bro.
And what?
In comic books, she's looked at as an Avenger, a hero. She's not looked at as an evil villain.
Right, by association.
She's looked at as a sympathetic hero. Where
bro,
shit happens
killed
to her.
all the damn mutants.
No more mutants.
She didn't kill them. She didn't kill them. She just depowered them. They were still alive. They just didn't have any powers no more. That's all.
I'm gonna say, Dave. I'm gonna say 90% of the time, maybe 80. Okay, but I think more than likely you hear more evil witches than you hear good witches and stuff like that. And within pop culture, not video games, but within pop culture, movies and stuff like that.
And specifically,
it's not just video games, it's movies, other things.
Specialize in taking away your free will, which is what Wanda did in Westview.
Yeah. And as far as sorcerers, the Sorcerer's Apprentice, like that's another one. They're normally good when I see sorcerers, stuff like that. So,
it says sorcerers have traditionally been feared because of their knowledge of the occult.
No. Yeah, absolutely. Sorcerers are also evil. They're both have potentials for evil.
Yeah, like Doctor Strange is technically like he's evil too. I wouldn't be surprised if he turns to the bad guy in the next movie.
I wouldn't say Strange is evil, yo. I wouldn't say.
Maybe not 6
I mean,
months.
we already saw an evil version of Strange, so we can't say that all sorcerers are great.
Exactly.
I agree,
but
it's the power source for human beings. Absolute power, absolute corrupts. Absolutely, it's the reality.
Because even the ancient one, like Mortal, had problems with her. You know what I mean? Because some of the things they do wrong. If you look at Strange 1,
she was using the Darkhold, right?
She was using the Darkhold.
To live forever.
Well, no, she was using the Time Stone.
The Dark Dimension.
Yeah,
the Dark Dimension, the Darkhold.
Right.
I think they might.
But anyway, going back to Kamar-Taj, the whole battle.
Yeah.
You want me to detail the whole battle?
What your favorite parts? Whatever you got.
Yeah, your favorite part, whatever you like.
So yeah, basically my favorite part was almost none of it. I mean, I'll be honest, it was a lot of explosions. The only reason why I say that is because this is where the first plot hole of the movie appeared. Right? She's being guarded by all these shields. She can't get in, but somehow she got down to ground level to whisper in old boy ear to run.
She didn't get down. Her projection got down.
Yeah, that wasn't.
So they didn't make that clear.
No. Dave, to your point, she's a witch, right? So the first aspect of witches is astral projection.
Mm-hmm.
That's
actually,
like
it's not. That's actually sorcery. Doctor Strange, the sorcerer supreme, owns the astral plane.
Astral projection.
No, Doctor Strange owns the astral plane.
In fact, I think that's on all 6 livable continents. Witchcraft has to do with astral projection.
Sorcery does not.
No, I'm saying there. All right, so it's like a sun and a moon. The sun is sorcery. The moon is witchcraft. They're both have the potential for good and evil, but ultimately can corrupt you to become evil because of the power.
So you're going here and here. Shouldn't it be like here, since they both have the corruption?
Yin and the yang.
Mm-hmm.
All good or evil. That's
we're saying the same thing,
up?
but we're saying
What's
the same thing about both of them. If I say witchcraft, you'll say it's made for good, but it can be used for evil, and you can visit the astral plane.
All right, well Dave,
sorcery is also below.
Well, it's bad, but it can also be used for good, and you can visit the astral plane. It's literally the same shit. It's like Cheerios and ShopRite's brand of Cheerios. They both
they the same shit.
They're the same shit, bro.
No.
They are the same shit, bro.
Multiverse, they're not even same in there.
They're not even close.
Same shit, yes.
Not even close.
Yeah.
None of them.
Yo, next time I see y'all motherfuckers, I'm bringing a bag of regular Cheerios and a bag of ShopRite Cheerios. And y'all motherfuckers gonna tell me the difference.
We can go to the bazaar. We can go to the bazaar next door. We could walk and get our evidence. So there's no funny business going on.
Right. No witchcraft going on.
Nah, Dave, they the same.
But anyway, man, to move this along, because I only got a few minutes left.
I know.
Yeah, so the Comitage battle, again, it was another one that could have been there. I don't know. They didn't make it clear to me again that that's Wanda. This is Wanda's astral projection flying down. Like they could have made it look like Strange's astral.
What about the rest of it though? Inside the Comitage with the mirrors,
with the fighting and everything, it wasn't really it wasn't really that much of a great fight other than this. This is pretty much all that was happening. So I can't say that I saw anything that was like, oh shit, see what he did. Everything that they did was just this. There was a lot of explosions, obviously, and everything. But then I like the scene. Everything after that initial fight when she broke the shield and then she got down on like boots on the ground. Everything boots on the ground was dope. All the way up to when she almost caught America Chavez. Going through the house, the mirror, the reflections. That was dope.
All right, E, what do you think about the whole Comitage thing? Your favorite parts of it?
I liked it. I like when she does the creepy walking behind you thing. That's still one of my favorite things she does. So I like that. I also like the actress that was in there. Shouts out to her.
The black chick?
She was in the movie with Halle Berry in this boxing movie that was on Netflix. It was pretty good.
Oh, I know what you're talking about, bro. Yeah. That show was good, yo. Yeah.
So seeing her again was like, okay, shouts out to her, man. Shouts out, she got a good part, for the people.
Apparently she's like Wong's love interest or something like that. I was reading about.
Oh, that was dope.
Yeah.
Who knew? We've been around what? 7 movies? Who knew?
Right.
All right, Chloe, anything you didn't like or things you loved about that scene?
I think it just showed how powerful Wanda was.
Josh, visually.
And for me, this is all about Sam Raimi, right? Because the whole horror aspect, the anticipation will get you just like waiting for the moment, right? You that's the whole aspect, right? Because if Scarlet Witch, her bread and butter is imposing fear on whoever, right? We done seen her do this to Thanos, Cap, all the Avengers, the whole come up behind you and whisper. And again, that's not her. Like how many people can sneak up on Cap like that?
Right.
So for me, that was definitely her ability to do that and to be able to go into their consciousness. So
she didn't speak about Hawkeye though.
yet, right? So for me,
Okay.
the whole this scene for me marked a new era in the MCU. So you have the horror aspect, you know, taking the MCU into darker pastures, as this movie did with things like the Darkhold. For me, it was strategic for Marvel, right? Because if you think about it, what we see in the later part of the film and what happens to certain people in the multiverse, in the Illuminati, let's say, normally you wouldn't have clear events like that in the MCU. So now you see things like Daredevil and everything being added to Disney Plus. I think Disney's gonna stick their toe into the dark field and catch up with the Warner's, let's say, because they have that on lock right now.
I think it was them sticking their toe in, but not putting their foot in. I think Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, you know, even before when it was Scott Derrickson, even now Sam Raimi was specific for Doctor Strange. I don't think it'll continue throughout the Disney or Marvel stuff to me, but that's just my opinion. As far as this scene is
But they
concerned,
can though. This is a good breaker for it, right?
Right.
Like
Right.
this is a good icebreaker here. It's their step in to show that we can if we want to.
Facts.
I
And
think they'll
characters
dip
like
their toe
Deadpool,
in
right?
and out. I don't think they'll stay in there. I guess is what I'm saying.
with
Deadpool.
characters like Deadpool, since you introduce the Professor,
Wolverine's main job is to slash people open.
he
Like,
slaughters people.
I don't see a movie where Wolverine's gonna be knocking people out and shit. And if I see that shit, I'm just gonna be like, damn, it's so sad, yo.
Well, that's a whole nother can of worms. X-Men, we talk about that another time. But as far as the scene is concerned, I did like the Kamar-Taj scene. I thought Strange and him having a conversation. I like when the villain is like so serious about their threat and they're so sure of themselves, kind of like I.E. Thanos. And she's like,
Right.
listen, I gave you a warning. I told you what to do. And he's like, why are you sending the monsters? He said, me sending the monsters was me being nice, me showing her some pity, basically. And then she's like, even at this moment, you won't get rid of me. I'm still going to show you some grace, but I'm going to take y'all out. I love that because my favorite parts of the Thanos battles is how he's chipping you, but telling you why he's doing it. That loves me. Like when he says to Iron Man, I hope they will remember you. Like I love shit like that or whatever. So,
Yeah.
then it's like, and then like in Endgame when he just sits there and waits for him, like, okay, I'm ready when y'all are, basically. Like that's the type of shit I love. So then the visuals, like you said, Josh, with Sam Raimi were great. The going through the puddles were dope. And then the astral projection, I like it was a callback to way back to Age of Ultron, which was 2014. So it's like we haven't seen her use that power since then. So it's almost like they reminded you she can do that because that was 8 years ago. So it's like, get you forgot? Yeah, I can do this too, by the way. So I thought that was pretty cool too. So yeah, I thought the whole scene was dope. I thought that, and so then we get into Strange. You know, he takes America. I'm gonna let you start this time, Chloe. And they go through the whole multiverse before they get to the 838. So them going through the different multiverses and them showing that, like, how did you like that? How did you feel about that, Chloe?
That was probably one of my favorite parts in the movie. Like, I wish they would have visited more multiverses, so you could just see how things were, especially when they went to the, I guess, 838 about the how it was like New York City, Times Square, and everything was like very clean, utopic, and I like that. So I wanted them. Well, before that part, when they were going through the different multiverses, like they turned into paint, and then there was like an old time New York scene, and then there was like all these different universes that I am so excited to explore. Like I would go see America if it was a movie with her, just her voyage where she visited all those other places, because I like to see how things look different but are kind of the core same as like the characters we know. Kind of like in Spider-Man, my favorite Spider-Man.
Into the
Miles Morales.
Spider-Verse.
Yeah, Into the Spider-Verse. Like when we saw like the different versions of the Spider-Man, that was so cool to me. And then you can see the parallel between like their life stories, what was the same, what was different. Like you compare and contrast how their backstories influenced who they became, which is kind of what it touched on with like Doctor Strange. Like in most universes, he had the same outcome, but because he had certain parameters in this one, he turned into this version. So it's kind of like the nature versus nurture thing, which kind of ties back into plug for Moon Knight, how, you know, we talked about the other day, how you kill people before their time. blah, blah. This kind of gives that perspective, like, oh, killing people before their time might not be a good idea because depending on how they were raised, they can turn into completely different people.
Okay. So let's talk about it up until the part where they get captured by Mortal. So going through the multiverses and then being in 838. How you felt about all that, E?
I loved it. I thought I saw the Savage Land. I'm not sure if that really was or a hint to it or just a nice little Easter egg, but I liked it. You know what I mean? It gave me hope. It definitely gave me hope. The paint joint was weird. I thought that was like real crazy and weird. Some of the stuff I didn't understand what was happening. Like when they was going through, it looked like a bunch of poles and lights or something. I don't know what that was. I'm not sure. I wish I could slow that mess down, but I'm not sure.
Go to New Rockstars.
No, they slowed it down.
Yeah. They slowed it down. Yeah, it's more than what you think you see.
Yeah.
When they slow it down, it's probably like
That's
15
true.
of them. Yeah.
All right, I gotta check them out. Yeah, that joint was crazy. I like that. That was hitting.
Because I didn't even see the fish come out of one to the other one. That was crazy.
I saw that.
Yeah,
Wait,
I saw that on my second viewing. Like that second time I went, I was like eyes on when that scene came. I was like, I see what I see. And then third time when I went with my girl, that was when I was like, yeah, now I know. But I still need to see it one more time. I want to slow it down myself and look.
Right, I ain't see no fish. What the
hell?
Remember they was in the underwater world and he went
Mm-hmm.
straight into the city and then the fish kind of jumped.
Yeah.
What the underwater world look like? Like, was it?
It was very brief. Everything.
Yeah. Every one of those were like a second, like not even a second in real time. It was a millisecond in real time,
like a frame.
Yeah, like a frame, bro. It was like one frame per change, and it's hard, yo. I can't wait for that thing to come on streaming. So.
Yeah. All right. But how about the time in the 838 walking around E and up with Mortal captured him?
Yo, I figured 838 would look nice like that with having certain characters knowing each other, so it made sense why it looked that nice and why it was so like futuristic. The pizza balls looked crazy. Be real. I really wanted to try them shits because
I watched eat those. Yeah,
I made them, bro. Not like from the movie. I made those before. It's a funny story, real quick. I'm gonna get through this quick. The other night, I decided I go on TikTok a lot for like recipes and shit. And this guy made pizza muffins, where he used he flattened out a biscuit, stuffed it with a bunch of pizza shit, and then put another biscuit on top, and then put some pizza shit on top. I tried to make it, but it didn't come out like that. It came out like balls, bro. And I was like, these fucking pizza balls. I would say they're muffins, but they all formed like one big ass ball. So I just ate them as pizza balls. And who knew? A week later, she'd be stealing pizza balls. She'd be stealing pizza balls.
The pizza balls was cheese on the outside. And
that's how I had it. It was pepperoni cheese on the inside, and then on top was melted pepperoni and cheese. But that shit looked good as hell. What she had, man.
I was like,
they had the mini pepperonis.
Yeah.
I was like,
by the way, that's definitely gonna be at the Disney theme park.
Oh, I see.
Sure.
Yeah, for fucking $800 for four.
Like $20.
Yeah, $20 each.
It might be a giant pizza ball.
All right, Dave. I know you got to go soon. How you felt about that whole part up until the part where Myrtle got them?
That was dope. I wish they would have showed more. I was looking like all over when they were walking around for like Easter eggs. One funny thing, another little nitpick plot hole. They were selling that memory machine thing. Like when you stand on the disc, you get to see your memory.
Yeah.
But you notice neither of them paid. So how the hell did they get free versions?
It was like the free trial.
Yeah.
Oh, like a free trial. Okay. So I was just wondering. I was like, did they get it for free? Because then if you're just handing out free trials all day, what the fuck?
You only get one memory on the free trial.
One memory.
I see. And he wasted his on Christine, yo. Giving him a watch.
I said that.
That shit would have been.
What
if I'm Dr. Strange, that shit would have been something for my college days, bro.
But you know what? He wanted to see if him and Christine could work in that universe. That's why he thought about that.
Yeah.
You know what I'd have been remembering? How I was fighting Thanos on Titan.
Nah, I don't remember that. That's why
doing all that craziness. Yeah, I'd have been trying to remember that. Showing her like, yeah.
All right, Josh. What about you? How you felt about that?
Oh yeah, it was a great use of time lapse. Right, it happened in an instant, and it totally reminded me how when Thanos snapped everyone, they went to the Soul Stone dimension, and they only experienced it for like a couple seconds, and even though the blip was like 5 years, it was only like that. So for me, it demonstrated the power and the ability of not only the multiverse and how you can travel amongst them and be instant, but also the power of America Chavez. So I was like, okay, it was her unofficial origin story, if you will.
Okay.
I felt like that it should have been more. Like I keep saying, like everybody keeps saying, like show more of each multiverse. I just call a movie called The Multiverse of Madness. We only spent time in two places. One was our own universe. I think Everything Everywhere All at Once did it better. Like that came out recently. I don't know if any of y'all seen that, but like
What
in
is
that
it?
movie, Everything Everywhere All at Once. It's
Yeah, I
came
want
out
to see
with
that. I want to see
Michelle,
that.
yeah.
They said they did it better.
Wait,
Much better. Huh?
They did.
where is this?
It's in a movie.
Oh,
It's
it was in the movies right now. Yeah, Everything Everywhere All at Once. It's a multiverse movie starring
Michelle Yeoh.
Shang-Chi's auntie. Yeah,
The
there you
karate.
go.
Yeah.
Shang-Chi's
Michelle
auntie.
Yeoh. Crouching Tigers. That's it. Michelle Yeoh.
It's Fire Stick. Yeah.
Yeah. But anyway, they did. But they did it. I think the movie 2 months ago, but they did it better. Like they're actually in every universe. So I thought that was pretty cool. And like you said, Chloe, Into the Spider-Verse, and you notice that the Kingpin's motivation into the Spider-Verse is the same as Wanda's. He's really trying to go to another multiverse to get his wife and kid. It's literally almost the exact same thing. Yeah, if you think about it, it's literally the same thing. But if you go to I like when they did show this Mordo at first anyway. And then he kidnaps them. And I do like this A3 parallel. I mean, how it looked and stuff like that. That's pretty, it was interesting.
Did anyone trust that Mordo at all? Like, would you think he was capping when you first saw him?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did. Because Mordo's like an absolute point. He always gonna be a hater of Strange. He always gonna hate Strange.
In the comics, it's like his worst enemy. It's like the number one enemy.
He's always a hater, yo. No matter how you put it. Like, you know, what I didn't like about Mordo's, what I get to, because Dave, I know you gotta go. You gotta go right now at this moment.
No. I'm waiting for the phone call, letting him know he's outside or some shit.
All right, so they do get
I'm
captured.
stay as long as I could.
They get captured. They go to the Baxter laboratory. We see the new Christine that Dave loves so much, and that she's the whole. She leads the whole thing. Tells Strange about his hands are different. It's a different life. And then Mordo, says you're going to meet the Illuminati, which was built up, for months and months and months. And we meet the Illuminati, and this Illuminati, I shall say, Eek. I know it's a different Illuminati, as you said before. And we get all these some explanation of what happened to the old Strange and why he's not there and why they put him as a hero and stuff like that. And how'd you feel about that Illuminati and what they're telling them and stuff like that? So
I liked the Illuminati. I liked how as everybody was coming in the way they were, how everybody was like shown from camera angle to who's who. From Professor X with the music coming in, love that. Love that blue square thing that went over Reed Richards that came straight up, twisted around. Love that. I actually like to see Captain Marvel like that. I thought that was dope too, seeing a black version of Captain Marvel. I thought that was like real. That was fire. Black Bolt looked like fire, straight fire, comic accurate, suit well done. That's the actor from the show. I watched some little snippets of the show. I'm so glad I ain't watched that show. Yeah.
Trash.
Trash. But his Black
he was
Bolt,
good.
like,
He's cool. Yeah.
He was good. Yeah. He was good. And the way he used his power, like the whole face lit up.
Yeah.
That was fire.
Let me go to Josh. How you felt about first of all, that building that they were captured in, Christine and the Illuminati when they meet them?
That was the Baxter building.
Well, it's called a Baxter Lab, I think. But
same shit. Serving as the Baxter building in that timeline.
Yeah.
Right. So you could tell that they had, advanced technology, so they weren't going to be able to escape easily. So I was like, okay, that makes sense. And then, eventually you do see the members of the Illuminati, and of course that makes sense as well, because of course in a different universe that could be Monica Rambeau, right? Anything is possible, right? So I thought they illustrated the flexibility, the possibility, and the versatility of the multiverse. So that part was exciting. And as I'm sure in everyone's theater, that moment when you see all of them show up, they all had different appreciation by the audience, like different clapping moments, each one individually. So I thought that was great to anticipate and respect and appreciate those characters. I to me, I thought that was great. That was similar to the No Way Home moments as well.
Right.
Chloe, how you felt about this whole thing?
I got 2 points I want to make. Point number 1 is when I saw Mordo, the first thing that came to my mind was Shamar Moore.
The wig.
Like, what in the heck? What? It's 2022. It's lace fronts out there. Like, I was confused a little bit.
Red extensions like that.
Those was actually supposed to be cornrows.
Tyler Perry still be having bad wigs in his movies though. So.
Right. I don't understand that shit.
I was like, oh no, they got the Shamar Moore braids on. But that was my first really, no cap.
Yo,
And
why
then-
I just catch that shit?
You forgot
Yo.
cornrows, lace front cornrows. And then the second thing, I was so happy. I was like, oh wow, Professor X, because there was all this talk about X-Men. And
that
then,
chair was perfect.
No.
yeah, I don't remember the comic version rendition of the chair. So that another thought was like, what kind of
Because if they do it accurate, it's gonna look like a big box.
yes.
So I felt they did it straight.
It did. It did. It definitely reflected the comic books, but I didn't have that.
How with you, Dave?
I didn't have that context, so I was just like, "Oh, he's in a giant yellow chair that hovers." Okay, that's interesting. And then I have another theory that they talked about in New New Rockstars about Wanda, about the mutant stuff. So
okay, Dave, how you felt about that whole part?
So Mordo, seeing Mordo, I'm like, man, you know, with Marvel, they could have put a couple of flashbacks in of Mordo trying to kill him when they were like, oh, he's been trying to kill me ever since. Like, I haven't seen, I can't tell. I don't know. But it's whatever. I think personally he would just call the cops and a black man would do shit to him, but say he's trying to kill him. But now he goes in there. I kind of knew something was up with that Mordo from the rip. I didn't know he was going to be part of the Illuminati because certainly they wouldn't have had such a low-ranking motherfucker be a part of their group. But it's whatever. I'm still confused. Was he an actual member? Because I didn't see a chair for him. Or was he just like their Mordo? Was he just like their stooge? Like they're you're gonna be?
He was a member. No, he was a member
because I didn't see a chair for him.
He replaced.
Oh yeah, he was a member. He replaced.
He replaced Strange. Yeah, right.
There you go. Okay, so he replaced the Strange. Like that makes sense. Okay, so then seeing them run down, that was dope. Seeing the Black Bolt, I got to finally verify that there was really SM out, and I'm like, yeah, okay, at least they got him because he was like the only good thing out of Inhumans. Everything else was like gutter. The Monica Rambeau, we could have done without that. Maria Rambeau. Sorry,
yeah.
I have it on my brain because I was about to say I would have rather have saw Spectrum in that spot, than her. But that's neither here nor there either. They could have just easily wrote it up as Captain Marvel died and she took over as Captain Marvel. It's whatever. Leave Lashana Lynch one more movie isn't all that bad. Seeing
007.
Seeing 007, right? She was dope as hell in that. I love that. Let's see who else was there. But Mordo obviously is blah. Captain Carter, come on, bro. Like this was one of my worst fears was that they were gonna try to bleed too much of What If into a live action movie. I want to sound very sexist for this. I don't really care. We could do without Captain Carter. There's no Captain Carter that I've ever grown an emotional attachment to. Right? I've never grown up reading Captain Carter comic books because they never happened. Like literally, what we saw was from What If.
I thought that was alright. I thought that was.
It was a better send off for her than what they gave.
You know what I didn't like about her? Well, we'll get to that later on. I'm gonna let you keep going, Dave.
Yeah. So that was like a good send off for her character. Okay, it's fine. I'm okay with that. And then Reed Richards coming in the time portal, one of the dopest ever, one of the time platforms. Yeah. Coming in, that was one of the dopest entrances I ever seen. I almost wanted to be like, yeah. And then it all got ruined when Professor X pulled up in the remnants of a bumper car, a floating bumper car.
I didn't like that either, bro. And it barely hovered. It hovered like
barely hovered. I was able to like scratch with the pole on top, bro. Like, Like they played him out in that shit. Yes, I know what they were going for. They're going for they wanted Blake like the cartoon bled over into the real world. I don't like that shit. Keep cartoons, keep real life, real life. That's the reason, the whole reason for the multiverse anyway.
Really?
To me it is. Yeah, I don't want to see a cartoon character pop to real life because you know what we're gonna get next? We're gonna get Wolverine teaming up with Pluto and Mickey Mouse in his new adventure.
What are you talking about?
Bro, when you start blending the animation, it opens the door for shit like that.
Okay.
Like I don't want to see a Roger Rabbit movie ever in Marvel Comics.
What?
Yes.
I love that.
That's great. Let him make a Roger Rabbit movie for Roger Rabbit Productions. Marvel, I don't want to see that shit.
No space.
Yeah, I like the whole thing.
Like that's one thing. That's one thing.
No Chip and Dale. No Chip and Dale.
That's already out right now. That's on Disney Plus right now.
Right.
Yeah, no, nothing bleeding into live action. I can't stand it. I ever since I was a little kid, I hated it.
Wait, hold on. Let's back up. So you don't like when an animated movie becomes live action, or you don't like when they make
I don't like
together?
when they blend them together. Like Space Jam, the great movie, the first one, obviously great movie. But I didn't like it that much. I only watched it once in my whole life.
You know that's fair, Dave. I had that same opinion, and then when DVDs start coming out and you see the special effects and how that works, essentially they're doing that anyway with all the special effects.
Exactly.
I'm fine with that. They're going out of their way to make it look real. They're doing everything they can to trick my eyes into believing it's reality. But you're not going to trick me into believing anything's reality when you have the X-Men form and then fucking Bugs Bunny drops down in front of them.
So wait, how did you feel about Miss Minute?
What was it, Miss Minutes?
How did you feel about Miss Minute?
I looked at her as a hologram in that real world. Like somebody could just put a holographic reference up.
But she wasn't a hologram. She was actually real. She could.
Yeah, I know. I didn't find that out until the end of the show. So when I found that out at the end of the show, I'm just like, oh, blah, how they wasted that. And we ain't ever seen that from her ever again. We never saw anything from her again, thankfully. Yeah. I don't think she's going to be a major player. She's never been in the comic books either.
I think she'll be in Loki season 2, bro.
Yeah.
She'll probably be in Loki season 2 as his little helper, whatever. But I mean, it's not going to be like
she's literally a creation of He Who Remains. So
exactly.
She knows it all as well.
She keeps the time, bro. She's an actual clock.
Bro, I didn't see a Michael Jackson hologram dance on stage already in real life.
And Tupac rap. Gotcha.
And Tupac standing on the roof rapping, looking up at the stars. Real life. So what He Who Remains did ain't scaring me or shocking me. I hope they just keep her as what she is, just an artificial AI with a fucking character body of a cartoon. But what I don't want to see is Loki looking at his cartoon self and shit. Like, ooh, let me hit you with an anvil. Like, I don't want these to get kiddie. I want them to stay in the range we're at. PG-13, possible rated R. If we get a Punisher movie, Deadpool movie, that's why I want it to stay. So seeing that, I know what they were, again, like I said, speaking of Professor X, I know what they were trying to do. It was just a bad. This should have taught them their lesson.
They obviously were trying to do it because not only did they bring out the yellow chair,
yeah, they have the X-Men coming back. Yeah, they got
and they played the music, so they definitely tried to play on your nostalgic heartstrings.
Yeah,
there.
Exactly.
Only thing I didn't like about it was because, and I think this speaks to what Kevin Feige said, they should have never showed him at all. It should have been a super surprise because it was written like a surprise. He literally was the last one to come on screen, right? And then even when he came on screen, it's on the back of his head first. So it was written to be a movie surprise. So why do it in the trailer? I think that fucked it up a little bit. One more question.
The internet was battered for months and months and months with one picture of what appeared to be Tom Cruise with a mustache playing Tony Stark.
Nah, that was Lashana Lynch. That was no,
not the picture of him flying. The picture of him standing there with the suit on and the fucking mocap suit.
Well, I did hear that he was supposed to be, but then he couldn't make time.
They want to save him. They want to save him for later anyway. Yeah, they want to put him in other movies.
Deleted scene.
I don't think so. I think they said Tom has to have control over his movies, all of them. And he can't do that with Marvel at all like that. So,
and he's got two Mission Impossible movies coming up.
Yeah,
he's gonna be way too busy.
At the end of the day, Tom gets final cut. Put it like that. If you don't like this, it gotta go. And so he's not doing nothing without.
And that's definitely the deal he has with Paramount. I feel like what's his name also has that deal.
Van Diesel does Universal. Actually, with the Fast movie.
And then what's his
name? With Fast Anything. Yeah,
get off my lawn. Oh my gosh, what's his name?
Clint Eastwood.
Thank you. Clint Eastwood has the same deal with Paramount.
Yeah.
So everything is green lit, 70 million minimum, no matter what.
Right, but if
Yeah.
I have a deal like that already, I wouldn't mind still doing something with Marvel.
1 second, guys.
Yeah, but the problem is that if I don't like what they shot for Tom, it's my way or no way, and it's not gonna work for Kevin Feige. So it's like it's like a problem or whatever for them. But I felt like I like the Illuminati was decent. I think like I said, he spoiled it for me, but it was still pretty cool. John Krasinski, I think he can be a good. Fantastic, Mr. Fantastic. I think he does need some time and seasoning. A good director, will work for him. I don't think Sam Raimi is the best director for Mr. Fantastic. So
what about John Krasinski for himself?
yeah, I think it will work. I think it will work in that way, stuff like that. I think that I did like Maria Rambeau. She was kind of feisty and a little like where she spoke. Spicy.
Even the look she gave the Carter when
yeah,
died.
I liked it kind of better than I like what's her name, Brie Larson. Yeah. I'm not gonna lie. Mordo's my problem. He's a waste of space, yo. How come we never see Mordo use any magic? Like, he's supposed to be the Sorcerer Supreme now. I've never seen Mordo use magic. Like, I'm like, are you a sorcerer or what? Like, I feel like that. Even when he gets stuck in a little hole, dude, you're the Sorcerer Supreme. How are you just stuck there? You can't go anywhere. Like,
because he had the handcuff on.
Nah, and he only had one handcuff on. And why can't this Mordo create portals? And again, even before he had the handcuff on, he attacked them with a sword. I've never seen Mordo use magic, but he's a sorcerer. This bothers me. I'm sorry. Like, why don't he use magic?
The sword wasn't magic. He didn't make the sword come out.
No, he had a real sword. It came out his back. Remember, he pulled it out.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, and when they all like telling Strange, like, yo, listen, we understand your little witch thing. We ain't worried about the little witch. We worry about you. I'm like, yo, how come Mordo, who's supposed to be the Sorcerer Supreme, doesn't say, yo, listen, Scarlet Witch ain't nothing to joke with? Whatever like that. Because, I know he wants Strange, but she's much worse to him. Trust me. So I don't like that whole, like, kind of plot device they use to kind of...
Yeah, they messed that up right there. I could say that.
Yeah.
Now that you said that, yeah, they messed that up.
Yeah, I mean, I know he's a hater, but he should know that Scarlet Witch is way more powerful than him if he's the Sorcerer Supreme in this universe and stuff like that. So, but then moving forward,
wait, before you leave, can I say this one fan theory about or this is just a theory I have about X-Men?
Yeah.
So apparently, and correct me if I'm wrong, but it was alluded to that the Scarlet Witch or whatever is actually a mutant.
In this movie, it was alluded to?
No, just in general. Like
she is 100%. She's a mutant in the comics. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So she's a mutant, right?
She's Magneto's daughter.
In the MCU though, they
one
don't
of his
really...
3 kids.
Okay.
The MCU, they milk the hell out of that. Yeah. Not MCU, they don't.
They don't. Right. In MCU, they don't make her a mutant and stuff like that. They weren't allowed to. They weren't allowed to. At the time she came out, they couldn't say Wanda was a mutant because Marvel still owned the rights to mutants. But even in WandaVision, she showed her other parents in her flashback.
I think that was before WandaVision was made or created, before the acquisition went through in full. So once the acquisition went through, they're changing the game on everything now.
Nah, WandaVision was created during it because they had one of the X-Men actors in it.
So the acquisition isn't like a one-day thing where you be like, I'm buying it. We bought it. Like, once you buy the company, that has to go through a whole bunch of shit, taxes, SEC, all that.
I don't think they
takes months to complete a sale.
I don't think. I mean, they can, but they would have to retcon her whole backstory at this
point.
They
would. They would have to retcon it. Yeah.
Well, so okay, and then speaking of the Darkhold, I just googled this. It says, "What does the Darkhold say about the Scarlet Witch? The Scarlet Witch is not born; she is forged. She has no coven or need for incantation. Your power exceeds that of the Sorcerer Supreme. It's your destiny to destroy the world." So is it because she's a mutant and that she went through all this and
the comic she's not built. Yeah, in the comic she's not built that way. I don't know what they're trying to do with the MCU to build her up to be this deity. But in the comic, she's not a deity. She's the nexus of all realities. She's literally, every reality flows through her. That's why she has control over reality and can make anything she wants. She can blink and
conduit. So they go through her. What do you mean they go through her?
So they when they say that she's the nexus of all realities, you know how like there was a bunch of different Strangers all throughout the world. Well, this is one of the things about this movie that confused me is that in the comics there's only one Scarlet Witch throughout all the multiverse. Literally,
I don't know what's confusing you though. The MCU is not the comics, and the comics not the MCU.
But you're drawing inspiration from it.
inspiration, but not direct parallels though.
But they're not state that. Okay, so when somebody's saying we're gonna make a movie based on this, we automatically assume it's gonna be the opposite because they're making it
Not
based
the
on
opposite, but just a change.
That's a major change. That's a major change, though. You're literally your claim to fame is I'm the nexus of all realities, but we're gonna take that away. So what are you after that? You're just a regular
Scarlet Witch. No,
you're a regular character.
Nah.
Okay, so that means there's a Scarlet Witch in every multiverse, right? That means out there that's not how it is in the comics, though, bro.
It's
that's
not the comics.
So how would that fear? How would you fear that? Why would you be like, you know what I would do if that was the
Scarlet
case?
Witch still powerful as shit, though.
So if that's the case, Mike, what I would do to battle the Scarlet Witch is I would be like, yo, open a portal, go get another Scarlet Witch. We're gonna make these two motherfuckers fight. Makes sense, right?
King to conquer.
All right, but no one thought of that. Room full of fucking geniuses. No one thought of let's go get our own Scarlet Witch.
But wait a second. There is only one because she had to inhibit the.
She's only one. What Mike is saying, there's only one in each universe. So because we have a multiverse, we have a multi-trillion Scarlet Witches.
She might just be one, and she's just actually projecting herself in other places so she could be.
Well, that's how it works in the comics. That's why she's so powerful and so fierce.
No, wait, I thought that was the parallel with her in America in the film.
Yeah,
that's how I took it.
I started seeing it differently when they started showing multiple reality.
I thought, but then hold on, Dave. I thought there was one Scarlet Witch, but the other ones haven't got the Scarlet Witch level yet. They're just still Wanda. That's why she was beating them.
But it's still in her. It's still in her, right?
Yeah, but she ain't get there. They ain't get there yet. They're just
Wanda. All the same. They're all the same Wanda. Because remember when
it just seems like this. For a lot of shit, it's just they haven't did that yet.
Remember the part when she went into the other Wanda's body? They were in the same mind.
Well, so one was basically in a trunk, and the other one was driving.
Like the alters in Moon Knight. They're the same person, but they're just not aware of each other.
No, it's basically like
at that point she was aware of herself. Remember? So I looked at it as it's the same Scarlet Witch. Everywhere she's just putting her mind in a different space. She's actually
when she was literally sitting with the dark hole, like scrolling through all the realities. Each of those realities or multiple realities had a Wanda in it.
Yeah, I think that was her. I thought that was her looking at herself, like like Jake knowing he had the other two personalities.
If that's the case, it would have to work like that for all of them, though, right?
I think Dave, you got
to have to work like that for Strange
in the MCU. To be honest with you.
I think it's saying what Dave is saying, but I think that you probably envisioned it to look differently. But
I envisioned it. Yeah. Sorry, go ahead.
I like what you're saying and how you're explaining her. That's what I took from the movie. I didn't look at it like, oh, it's 20 different Wandas and it's one in each reality. I kind of looked at it as it's the Scarlet Witch and it's her.
So why the Scarlet Witch's physical body?
She's the only Scarlet Witch, honestly.
Like her physical body is sitting there Indian style, meditating with the dark hole. But she also is interacting with another physical body, which blows that whole theory to pieces. She's going into another multiverse and taking over another physical body. Like her kids in those multiple realities aren't looking at her doing astral projection. They're looking at their mother. They're touching their mother, hugging their mother.
Yeah, like they did when she made the whole town up.
Right, but those people already. Those people were
magic. She has actual magic, so she could do whatever she wants. That's how I look at it.
Yo, you cracking me up, yo.
You gotta suspend your disbelief. Like I thought it was just. I didn't think it. I looked at it how you're explaining it.
I think they just made up another reason in the comics because she's the nexus of all realities.
Where you get that from, bro?
If she dies, everything.
Blueberry
dies.
muffin. That's
nice.
Blueberry muffin Kit Kats.
Right,
yo.
Yeah, they sell weird shit. They sell weird shit in PA, yo.
They test out all the products there.
Yeah, they sell a lot of weird shit. My boy goes there all the time, gets all these weird flavored Kit Kats and all types of shit.
Where'd you get that from? Like Walmart?
Where'd you get it? Don't be quiet. Where you get it from? Walmart. Yeah.
I was right. Okay.
So Josh said, "Being Scarlet Witch is a choice. The choice is to be evil. Plenty of Wandas, only one Scarlet Witch." Right. Age of trailer.
Wait, is this a multiverse, Josh? Is that the multiverse, Josh? Because I thought he was with us. See what I'm talking about, bro?
That's Josh.
That's the multiverse. That's
let me move forward. Blueberry Muffin E. How you felt about the battle with the Illuminati and Wanda? That's where we're at now.
All right. So I liked it. I mean, she's powerful enough to do that to them. Facts. My only problem is, even if Reed said what he said, right, and he got killed, they are in the Baxter building or Baxter lab, whatever you want to call it.
Yes.
Johnny Storm, The Thing, and Sue should have been coming down there. Once that alert happened, when she started attacking the base from the gate. That's how I feel.
I agree with E 1,000,000,000,000%. He actually stole my thought. I was waiting to say that shit. I was waiting to say that shit because you're the Illuminati. You gotta hide it from the whole world. So what do you hide it in your fucking house?
Bro. No, that's my point. I think there's a Baxter building, and that was the Baxter lab. I think it's two separate places. I don't think they live there. I think it's two separate.
So I guess in MCU they separated to two buildings, but in reality it's all one building.
No, in 838 they do. I'm saying because they're Illuminati. I think 838 there's a Baxter laboratory where Christine works at, and there's a Baxter building which they live at. I think it's two separate places, honestly.
So you think they live on like a fucking 90-story high rise, just living there?
They do. In the comics, they live in a big high rise.
Hold on, stop it right there. Yes, they do live in a big high rise. I'll give that like that. But they also do all their research there, and their labs are there.
Yeah, they do. Like them personally.
So take away the labs, right? Take away the labs. What you got left? Empty floors, bro. You think they're staying on the 90th floor, an empty floor building? But
not. They do like Reed does, or like by themselves. But like I think that building is where like Christine, all the other people who work there. It's a separate building, and the Illuminati meets there. Why would Reed tell his let Johnny and them know the Illuminati's coming here to our house? That's never gonna happen. I think it's a different place, honestly. So I think it's a different place. Me personally, I just think it's a different place. But back to the
I said, nah, all right, you got it.
But you might be right, but I still think Sue would know.
He's not right, E. Just let it go.
I'm definitely right, Dave.
He's not right, E.
That was the Baxter building. They should have came down. There should have been.
It wasn't there.
I'm with E. I'm with E. Yo. I'm with E.
Spot is in Central Park. It's only a one-level building. They showed it on New Rockstars. But it's not the building they live in. Stuff like that.
Remember the cube he had that he beamed up in? What's that called again, Dave?
The time platform.
Right. There should have been 3 more of those popping up when he got shredded and.
I don't think they were. I thought they were at home chilling, watch TV while he was at work at the lab with the Illuminati.
And that's what I think. That shit should have. They should have been. The square should have popped up with them. I'm telling you, we should have saw them. They should have been there.
Well, Chloe, how you felt about the whole fight between Wanda and the Illuminati at that point?
Y'all gonna be mad at me, but I like dozed off a little bit.
My fiance went to sleep during Deadpool. I've heard it all.
Dozed off just a little bit, and when it was only a couple, maybe 2 minutes or so, because it got kind of slow before. They were doing a lot of talking.
That was second act. The second act was kind of boring.
The second act was kind of boring. Yeah.
And then like once I think once Doctor Strange and what's the guy, the black dude, Shamar Moore. When they started talking, that's when I started getting like bored.
Oh yeah, that was a horrible scene.
Yeah, that was horrible. Yeah,
bro, the Wanda is there killing everybody, and he's like,
I know why you're.
He's like, we'll give you judgment as soon as they get back. Yes. I'm like, what the fuck, bro?
I know why you're strange. I mean, your Mordo doesn't like you. Like, what the fuck are you talking about, bro? Like,
was that before or after we saw Professor X? That was before, right?
Professor X, the first time or second time?
What when they first
no, that was after. Yeah, that was after.
Yeah. Yeah, that
was I saw Professor X and then I dozed off a little bit, and then when I woke up, the dude's head was blowing off, and I was like, that's what woke me up.
Josh, why you ain't tap her, Josh? Wake her up.
He doesn't. He looking at.
I was looking at the film. That's why I came to the movies to look at the movie.
But then it woke me up, and I was like, "Oh snap! I can't fall asleep again. It's going down because the action happened." But that's what woke me up when he closed his mouth and his head blew off.
I didn't mind it, to be honest. To me, it was all about context, filling us in. I feel like each of us has said we needed some more context on the multiverse, some more rules. So this was a moment for you to learn about what's actually going on, what's the possibilities. That's how I looked at it. This learning. I was learning in that moment.
And to be fair, Josh, last time we watched WandaVision, the last episode, I fell asleep when she got the dark hole. At 30 seconds, and then I forgot because then I thought about, I was like, wait, she did have the dark hole, but we didn't watch it since it came out months. When was that? Last year?
Yeah, last year.
So I did fall asleep in the last minute.
Wow.
We watched it again the night before, and I fell asleep in that part. So when I went to the movie theater, I was like, well, how is she evil? I don't remember this. Don't remember. The last thing I remember, she was saying sorry to everybody, and she released them.
It's too late to apologize.
Right.
I mean, is it ever too late to apologize?
Definitely.
She let them go.
Dave, how you felt about the fight?
She had to.
It was okay. It started out good. I'm gonna say it started out good, but then it got more and more comical as it went on. You heard me. I was sitting right next to you. I was fucking laughing. I started laughing.
Yeah.
I was like, because okay, so Reed gets shredded up, turned to Play-Doh, and then his head got popped off. I loved it. I was like, I had one of those spaghetti machines when I was a kid. He put the Play-Doh in, it comes out like all spaghetti and shit. So she Play-Doh with his ass.
Yes, I like that shit.
Right, and then Black Bolt with the mouth, I thought was the craziest shit ever.
Yeah, that was crazy.
And people do this week, right? That I've talked to other people, my boys have seen it. They were like, "Yo, why did he scream? Why did he do that?" I'm like, "Yo, you don't understand. He didn't scream. The fear, he's never been without his mouth. So if somebody tells you got no mouth, you're your mind and everything's gonna panic for 1 second.
Yeah,
you panic.
So he said,
boom.
Yeah.
No,
right?
No. I'm not buying that. I'm not buying that at all.
What did you think? What do you think? Go ahead, here, John.
If you're that powerful, if you're literally aware that any sound from your voice causes that level of devastation, you know better.
Yo, imagine if he had the same shock as if they were in space somewhere on some alien planet and someone snapped and Tony's armor disappeared. He'd have the same shock, like, oh shit. So that shock made him just make a little but remember, his entire lifestyle is predicated around responding without making noise. But also, his entire lifestyle also, his entire lifestyle also
Scarlet Witch, right?
Not only that, his entire lifestyle, he had a mouth.
Right.
He took something that's been there from the day of birth away, and of course he's gonna have a second of panic. So that's how I took it as, right?
Yeah.
So and then the fight between Peggy was that's when the hilarity began because you're Peggy Carter, you got a shield.
Right?
Not even that. But I've long held that if Captain Wanda fought, Wanda would mop Cap up in like a half a second because just being a little bit stronger and a little bit faster and a little bit tougher don't mean shit against the Scarlet Witch. So that fight went too long. To have Mr. Fantastic not even throw a punch or hit her or wrap her up and do nothing. And to have Black,
he tried,
He was about to. He made a move toward her and she grouped his ass.
Yeah.
He only made a move. I wanted to see a couple of shots land. Big fist.
That's my problem.
For real, he was the biggest threat though for her.
Who?
Right there. Reeds. That's why she got rid of him so fast like that.
She killed Black Bolt first.
Right.
And then Captain Marvel, right? Captain Marvel, all powerful.
I don't think she's dead. She's dead. I don't think she's dead. I think she just knocked her the fuck out with that.
You can't kill Captain Marvel with a statue, bro.
You can't kill Captain Marvel with a statue, bro.
Nah, there's no way. Yeah.
So you guys going on record right now stating that Lashana Lynch in the future is going to be Captain Marvel?
No, I don't know if they go. I don't know if they're going to show that again. But because
she got knocked out, so she's done after the hero game. I got knocked unconscious. I'm done.
That's a multiverse Captain Marvel anyway.
That's what I mean. If they go back to 838 for some reason, Doctor Strange.
Yeah, she's real alive. You can't kill Captain Marvel. Dave, you're a comic reader. You can't kill Captain Marvel with a statue.
He know better than that. Yeah, he know better.
Bro, I have seen weaker deaths in this MCU. Tell me you can't. Tell me you haven't.
No, not with a powerful person like that though.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know how powerful she was.
Come on,
Captain Marvel.
Thanos headbutted her and she ain't moved. That's how powerful she is.
That's our Captain Marvel.
Dave, how does Captain Marvel get her power?
Well, it's from one of the Infinity Stones. That's in the comics. You want comics or the movies?
The movie, Infinity Stones. Yeah.
Okay. In the movies, she got it from one of the Infinity Stones. Exposure to one of the Infinity Stones exploding or whatever. Not even that. It was just the Infinity Stone's power. The actual stone.
I don't think she's dead, yo. Knockout, I give you.
Okay.
It's the reason why they didn't show no blood or no death. I don't think she's dead. You can't kill her with a statue, bro.
Right.
But my thing is that they should have showed. So with Captain Marvel, I'll go backwards. Captain Marvel part, like, did she even go binary like she can do? Because I feel like that would have made her have a better fight with Wanda. Because when Captain Marvel go binary, she's a whole different person at that point.
Super Saiyan.
Yeah, I felt like that. Now with Peggy, it's funny. It's a meme going around where she says, "I could do this all day," but then 3 seconds later, she's dead. It's hilarious. Actually, shit like that. It's like what happened all day. It was like,
right. Well, you heard what I said in there. Like, you do that all day, chick.
But I was mad she even used that line. I felt it was unnecessary. Like, we didn't have to have her use the same line as Cap in the movie. Like, that kind of bothered me a little bit.
Makes sense to me with the new MCU.
I mean, yeah, in that aspect, yeah. But I'm just like, yo, give her own line then. You know what I mean? Like, why she got to steal Cap line? Stuff like that. So, yeah. Then I felt like, I think we needed more of Reed, like doing something at least, like a heroic moment or something like that. If you're gonna bring me Reed finally, give me more than him just getting killed that quick. And then the thing, he's so good with his brains, smartest person in the world, but he tells Wanda, "Here's how you beat Black Bolt." I thought it was the dumbest shit ever. I'm still mad about that.
He didn't tell her that.
He literally did. He said, "Yo, Black Bolt came open his mouth." Okay, I'll close his mouth. Hey, bro, he told her how to beat him.
But he was trying to scare her because she was in another Wanda. He didn't want to hurt that Wanda at all. Have Black Bolt killed.
He could have just said, "Listen, we have tools. We can do some things to you. Not give her the exact thing that we can do." Bro.
Okay, you have a specific set of skills. Okay.
He's too smart for that, bro. I'm just saying.
No, he is that smart where he would say that thinking he's going to scare her.
So he's too smart for his own good? That's what you're telling me?
He didn't know she was that powerful. They never had the Scarlet Witch. They're thinking that Wanda's Wanda.
Marvel.
I bet our Reed knew.
Oh yeah.
I bet the 6'6" Reed knew that shit.
And which goes back to the Sorcerer Supreme Mordo not telling them how serious Scarlet Witch was.
Right,
so, like,
right.
So
exactly.
That's the problem right there. But moving forward, though, by the time she finished fighting, one more scene. Professor X, how he died. Nobody touched on that.
So yeah, there's a misconception that she broke his neck. Go back and watch the scene in slow motion. They got it all over Twitter, bro. She ripped the top half of his head off.
Yep.
Yeah. She put it on one hand here, the other hand here, and the whole top half, eyes and everything just slid right off. That was sick. That was dope. They should have slowed it down and actually got a little bit more visceral.
They did it fast like that on purpose. So
I know. So it wouldn't look like that to kids. Yeah. But going back on Twitter, when I found it, I'm like, you gotta be kidding me, yo. Jeez.
It's like you never saw like Captain Carter's body really. You never saw two halves. Because they want to fit up for kids, stuff like that. So I get it, at that point. So moving forward, they then get away. What's her name? America got away with Christine running the trains. Now they're chasing. Wanda's chasing them.
Hold on, one more thing. My bad. The Mordo and Doctor Strange fight.
Yeah, we talked about that when you were gone for a second. But go
ahead. My bad. Yeah, it's crazy. The Sorcerer Supreme could be stopped with a fucking 8-foot wall, right?
That's what I said. I said that when you were gone.
Sorry.
Yeah,
I want to make sure someone said that.
Doctor Strange did jump off of Mordo first. That was his first step.
Yeah, but why can't Mordo get out of there? He's a Sorcerer Supreme.
Because there's nobody else to jump off. He has the damn cuff on. Y'all keep forgetting about the cuff.
You know what I said, Dave? I said we never seen Mordo use any magic. He's supposed to be Sorcerer Supreme in this movie. He used a sword the whole time. Not one magic at all.
He ran in the air. He ran up in the air.
Yeah, he used the vaulting boots of Valtor. During their fight. Yeah.
He ran up in the air.
Yeah.
All right. So they're chasing Wanda. Now we get this kind of Josh. Are you falling asleep over there? Going through this the horror aspect. More Sam Raimi when she's chasing them through the bottom of the Baxter building, I guess. And she's chasing them. They're scared. They're running. Then we get the whole water scene, which I thought was dope, obviously. And then she catches up to them when they finally get to the book and she gets America. Chloe, talk about that part. How do you feel about that as well?
I mean, at that point, I was just like, I just wanted the movie. I just wanted to see where it was going.
Okay. So at that point, you were kind of anxious, kind of antsy, I guess.
I was just like, what's gonna happen?
Okay. Josh, how you felt about the visuals there when she's chasing them and when they finally catch up to America at that point?
I felt that it was inevitable. Eventually, she was always gonna, come in contact with her, especially since being the Scarlet Witch. So I just thought it was a matter of time before it happened. It was, as Chloe was saying, what were they going to do to make sure she didn't get all the power immediately?
Mm-hmm.
E, how you felt about that?
I liked it. I like the horror scene. It always gives me an Evil Dead vibe with him. Like once he starts doing stuff, it just reminds me of Evil Dead and Army of Darkness and all that stuff. Where her walking with the limp. I'm glad they made her. I'm glad they made her eyes when they went red and she almost looked like zombie Wanda, but it was just still regular Wanda. I thought that was pretty good.
Dave?
Yeah, I'm not a big horror guy. Like, when I was a kid, it was great. But I when it comes to the horror genre, it's kind of like seen it all, did it all already. With me. So, it was I guess it was an okay homage to the older horror flicks, but every time they closed one of them doors or did something, I was like, come on, bro. It's Wanda. Come on, bro. A metal door's gonna stop her. A metal door's gonna stop her. Like, and then they had a metal door stopper for a couple of seconds. In my mind, I don't even know how she got around it, but whatever. Okay, she couldn't have used her whatever. I don't know. I don't fucking know. That scene has started going off the fucking rails for me. All right,
well, I didn't like that they got to the book, the whole MacGuffin, and never used the book of Ashanti.
Yeah. Well, no, American Chavez is the MacGuffin. The red herring is the fucking book of Ashanti.
But they never used. They never got.
They never used it. Yeah, they ended up never using it.
Yeah,
well, did they? No, I thought he did in the end. I thought he did when they were in the gap point.
In the end. Nah, he had Dark Hole in the end. Stuff like that.
Oh, because she destroyed one of the pages on it or some shit. Right?
Right. Exactly.
Okay.
So they got to it but never used it. But moving forward, we do see that he sends them to this world multiverse, which is being destroyed. They go to the house now. One of your favorite scenes, Chloe, where he kind of sees this Strange. Which one is this now? Sinister Strange with the third eye, and then they have the music battle. So you talked about it earlier. You like that, Chloe? How you felt about that?
Yeah, that scene I thought was dope with the fight, but it also is kind of confusing because I was like, which Doctor Strange is this? And wasn't the incursion happening in the background?
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
And I was like, I don't understand what's happening. And then the incursion happened pretty quickly. So it was just like, is that how quick it happens? Like, because he just got there and then the incursion was already like.
Well, no. That Strange was already having an incursion in that world from what he was doing.
Oh, he was already.
Yeah. Because he said he kept trying to get Christine. That one kept trying to get Christine by going to the different worlds, stuff like that.
It was kind of confused me because I felt like there was some type of illusion, or like they alluded to the fact that he knew that his version was coming to see him. I don't know. That I gotta rewatch that. Okay. It felt like that the one that was already there with the incursion knew that this Doctor Strange was coming, and that's why he asked him. Then he asked him a question like. He asked him something. That,
he said, "I'll trade you the book for your Christine." Basically, was what he said. So.
Yeah, I don't know. That part was kind of confusing to me, but I did like the fight. Like I like
the notes.
I love that fight. That was like the best fight for me in the whole movie.
Wow. What about you, Josh?
Yeah, it was a solid fight. I like the visual aspect of what we can see, the aftermath of an incursion. It was very post-apocalyptic, right. Everything decaying like matter. And just like how the snap was, I thought those are cool parallels as well. So to me, like again, I was just all I was doing, I was in apprentice mode. I was learning about the multiverse. I was learning about the different things that can happen if you make certain decisions in the multiverse. So I was just curious to see how Doctor Strange essentially against himself.
All right, E, how you felt about that whole thing and that fight with the music notes?
I like the scene, especially I like seeing Doctor Strange versus fights the evil Doctor Strange. I like how he when he threw the music notes, he dodged in between them and looked at him like You could tell he was like on a different level of evil. It, like I said again, it gave me Army of Darkness vibes. Remember when he had to fight Evil Ash versus Evil Ash? Like, yeah, it gave me that type of vibe. The music, man, I don't think they should have used the music notes, but without the music. Like, it should have just been like throwing them as blades and ninja stars, like he was doing. I mean, I did like that, but I mean, it got Anastasia.
That music was great. The music, to me, the music was perfect.
Yes.
That might be because I played the piano, so the specific songs that they were using to
wasn't a Beethoven in there?
Beethoven,
Beethoven, absolutely, and it was just blending beautifully. So I can't beat that.
And it gave me kind of like Dracula vibes, like dun-dun-dun-dun. Don't they usually play that in like
every horror movie ever? Every old 1940s horror movie ever? Yeah.
So I thought that
I got Anastasia vibes, right? That's what Mickey Mouse that. Yeah.
Which was also very creepy to me.
And Disney, good spot.
Dave, I thought about that whole part. Them going to that multiverse. Okay, all right, that's fine.
All right, it was okay. It was okay with the explanation and everything going back and forth. And if his motherfucker wanted that Christine that bad, he can't see her outside. She's the only alive, living human being standing the fuck up. But okay, never mind. I guess he didn't see that. He saw Strange way in the motherfucking distance. But he didn't see Christine standing outside his front steps. But it's all right, whatever. It's all right, whatever. Huh? Yeah, but he was looking down at her. Can I have your Christine if I give you the book? Like, bro, go take it. Go take it. She's down there waiting for you. Like, what are you doing if you're talking to this dude? If I want a chick and she out there, I'm going to get it. What are you going to sit there and ask to trade with you? No, bro. I'm going down there. I'm going to trade. Fuck out. Anyway, so that was the first part that I was like, come on.
Right.
I'm
gonna take the bitch.
It's not like that. Not like that, guys. Not like that. Not like that. But he killed a trillion people to get to this woman, and she's standing outside his front steps, and he's like inside making deals.
Because she wasn't gonna go without a fight, so he like let me talk to this Dr. Strange so he could go down there and say the universe.
What's that? Her pimp? The first Dr. Strange is a pimp and shit. Honey, baby, listen. You gonna go with this motherfucker with the third eye over here? Wow, he gonna give me that book. You know what I'm saying?
Listen,
yo,
just
Dave,
take that
going down, further down.
So that was okay. So that was the first. That was the first thing that pissed me off about that whole shit. Right. The second thing was the music battle. Like, bro, no. Okay, I understand Josh's point of view. If you're a musician person, you'll love it. My son was a musician. He loved it. He was like, oh, that shit was dope the way they did that. I'm just like, man, that shit had Disney instead of Marvel. That shit had Disney written all over it. Like, instead of Marvel. It wasn't property of Marvel, it was property of Disney. We got to make something goofy in this movie. So I thought it was a little bit goofy. I don't even know why they chose that medium to fight in. Like, I don't know. I thought that whole music thing, the fight itself.
I mean, to your initial point, Dave, there's a lot of witchcraft in music as well. So I thought that was very
but they're not practicing witchcraft, they're practicing sorcery.
Right, it's the same thing.
No, it's not.
I literally said witchcraft and sorcery are both potentially evil.
I got my good laugh here for the day. But listen, so next thing we got is Strange does beat him in a battle and impales the other Strange. And then Christine comes up there and he's gonna use the dark code to walk through his dead body in 616 to then try to defeat Wanda. But of course, there's rules against that. And all the dead souls attack him. He has Christine to help him through it.
Sorry, go ahead. Sorry, not to cut you off, bro. We know what he asked Christine. Go ahead.
Christine to help him through it and stuff like that. She helps him through it, which we'll get to in a second. And then we see he's able to take over those dead souls. So, Josh, let me start with you. How you felt about that whole thing with him taking over his dead body with the dead souls attacking him?
As I said before, perfect loophole, perfect gray area for Dr. Stephen Strange to show his imagination and be like, I'm gonna get the job done no matter what it takes, even if I have to, jump across certain lines, certain rules, but for the greater good, it's gonna be all right. So that's how I viewed that. that entire scene, because obviously you don't want to do that type of spell with your actual body, so that to channel it through your actual corpse. And we see how things like the dark hold and or any type of that magic or sorcery or whatever has on a specific human being, it leaves scars, right? So, and we'll see that again pay off in the post credit scene. But you see the power that he's dealing with. To me, it made sense for him to use his corpse, but that's just me.
Let me get to Chloe. How you felt about him using the corpse and the dead souls attacking him and Christine trying to help him out through that?
So two things. I like how movies leave like a little crumb trail about what's gonna happen. So like I like the fact that they had his dead body placed in that universe. I like the fact that they had like it's just different things that they connected throughout the movie that you might not have noticed, and then they all brought it all together at the end. So I like that. And then with Christine, I felt like in that universe, even though she was I think she was more empowered in that universe because she had the knowledge of things. So like even she had that machine thing or whatever that gold pot thing was. She knew what it was and she knew how to use it, which is why it was plausible for him to say, "Hey, watch my body," because he knew that in that universe she knew about what everything was. Versus in the other universe where she's getting married, she's just a chick, that
A doctor that
he used to like. But I think that it kind of gave her more of a realistic role in helping him because she did have the knowledge. She worked in the tech industry of, the Illuminati. So she had the secrets. She knew what it was. So that was more believable for me for a person who doesn't really have any powers, which I liked because, Black Widow and other people that don't have powers. It's not realistic to me. That was more realistic, even though some may think it wasn't. I thought it was. So I thought that was kind of cool. And I like the fact that he did use the body in a creative way to defeat her. I thought it was kind of cool, or to help at least. Like I didn't expect them to take over the zombie, but then I was like, oh, this is a flashback to What If, because it was a whole episode on zombies.
How you felt about them taking over the zombie and using the dead souls and all that stuff?
I like that when he took over the zombies. I thought that was another skill that was dope as fuck. Like for real, that to me that I like when he showed his powers. That's power. That's power right there. I thought that was dope. It also reminded me of Evil Dead again. Sorry guys, but that's what the zombie Strange looked like to me. I also like the fact that what I didn't like was when he had like, I guess the zombies started coming back at him, or the ghost or whatever, the spirits started coming at him, and she was feeling him, and she's like, "Oh my god!" and he couldn't handle it. Like I don't think he needed a damn pep talk from her to handle that. I think they should have just let him handle that. Like let him take it and go right with it and go straight at Wanda. I think that was a little goofy.
All right, Dave.
Didn't like it at all. This is one of the part. First off, when he got the dark hold off the other Strange, and I don't even know where the other Strange went. Where did he go?
He flew. He got killed.
He got killed. He got impaled.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah. Sorry. My mind's a blank here. I'm drawing a blank on that. You're right. He got impaled. So then he got the dark hold, and he tells Christine, "We're gonna go ahead and guard me against spirits." Like, sorry, I found that very comical. This is when I started hitting the point where I'm like, yo, they just gave this bro way too much to do. And it took me the second watch. I'll give you, Chloe. It took me the second watch to see that canister that she used was the same one that he didn't know how to use from the first Doctor Strange movie. It took me a second to realize, like, that part. I think I was laughing or looking up with some shit when she used it. But at any point, she protects him. And then what happens after? And then he reanimates the corpse. And I'm just like, bro, I pulled an E. I'm like, I had to check and make sure, like, what movie are we here, yo? Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows or Doctor Strange, Multiverse of Madness? Because that shit looked like it was ripped right from a Harry Potter movie.
Yeah,
I could have swore I saw that in the trailer somewhere for a Harry Potter movie, what he did.
Josh will tell you, I don't know.
Yeah. So at that point, I was just like, okay, well, I hope this part of the movie's over fast. Because I didn't want to see him. I didn't want to see him fight as a zombie. Like, nah, man, nah, just nah.
I thought it was cool when he
That's-
took it and made it into his own cape.
His
That
cloak,
was
yeah.
dope. The cloak.
Yeah.
It was the dead body.
It was
I mean,
visually appealing, yes, but mentally appealing, no. Because again, I wasn't into watching the dead Doctor Strange fight Wanda. You know what I mean? I was already so semi disappointed in how the movie was going. I was just like, whatever.
Well, I'll move forward then. So we see that he's going over there towards Mount Wundergar. Wong, who somehow survived, he gets up and he kills one of those protectors, I guess. And then Strange takes out the rest. And now we get Strange fighting Wanda with those bodies. He kind of, I guess we'll say, inspired America to get to her full potential. And she, like we said, fights Wanda and then shows Wanda what she wants, which is her kids. And then the other Wanda says they'll be loved. And, Wanda decides to destroy the mountain, therefore destroying all the Darkhold. So that's basically the climactic ending. Josh, how you felt about that part, bro? Okay.
I mean, how she has so much venom for everyone else and this all of a sudden stopped. For me, I was just like, because we were supposed to believe that she went to, different levels of evil. Like again, I agree that she surpassed Agatha in all of her actions in this film in terms of the evil scale. So for her to be like, oh, okay, you're a mom as well, I'm gonna let it slide, but you were strictly able a couple of seconds ago to take her kids as your own. So for me, it's just like there was no continuity about that character arc at all. So that to me, this was the lowest point of the film for me.
Okay. Let me go back to Chloe. How you like the ending of the movie?
I liked it. It was kind of predictable though. I had a feeling she's going to take her back there to see her kids, and then the kids were going to see her all crazy. But that's why it made me think in that moment that it was the same Wanda.
Okay, all right.
You know what I'm saying? Like I look at the other, like the different variants of, let's say, Doctor Strange. They weren't the same person. They were two completely different people. Like every other variant, like with the Spider-Man variant. But that Wanda didn't give the other Wanda smoke because they were the same person. She was just looking at a reflection of herself. That's the part that made me think that she was the same person and not different variants. Which is why I was thinking of Moon Knight. Like, oh, okay, that's her seeing the other version of herself and coming to terms with letting go and knowing that her kids are safe with this version of herself because they were afraid of the version of herself that she was presenting to them.
All right. E, how you felt about the whole ending of the movie?
As far as the ending, I felt they either could have let her go out differently or found somebody else or gave America Chavez enough power to defeat her properly. You get what I'm saying? Like, I felt like they went into a little corner because they didn't know how to
defeat her.
Yeah, how to defeat her.
Okay.
She defeat herself, right? That was the whole point. Nobody can beat her.
Right. So but did she really defeat herself? Because I watched on my third movie, I watched the rocks crumble and red thing.
You can see that. Yeah.
Yep.
Well, meaning like metaphorically, she defeated herself.
She stopped chasing her, I guess.
She came to terms with the fact that she needed to end this evilness. So she defeated that version of herself.
And destroyed the Darkholds.
And destroyed the Darkhold. Well, she thought
in every universe too.
Exactly. So she was
every multiverse.
She redeemed herself. She redeemed herself at the end. Like she did. Like that's her story. Like she always does something evil, and then she redeems herself, and then she does something evil again, and she redeems herself. So you never know if she good or bad.
Dave.
Whew, okay, so the movie definitely took us on a ride. This end scene felt like somebody turned on the Wrap It Up box, though. Y'all familiar with the Wrap It Up box? Right? Felt like somebody turned the Wrap It Up box on. Mike, we're going to have a discussion later on whether America Chavez reached her potential or not. I think she just basically scratched the surface. Hopefully, she just scratched the surface of her potential. But she gets up, she smacks Wanda around a couple times. Wanda don't even get a black eye or a cut lip or nothing like that. It's whatever.
Wanda.
Okay, I know. Yeah, she's indestructible. I forgot that's one of her powers. Yeah. And what about Wong? Didn't Wong fall like 1,000 feet off a cliff?
I said that. So somehow he lived. Like
Yeah.
He's a
He's a
sorcerer
sorcerer.
supreme.
He's a sorcerer supreme. Okay. So all right.
Yes.
So then Wanda once again does the old famous white girl routine. The oh shit, I fucked up. Well, I'm gonna go see if I can do something good for everybody too. No context whatsoever as to how Doctor Strange knows that in every multiverse the Dark World is destroyed. How does he know that? Should be no communication with him whatsoever. Just his Dark World disappeared. Right?
Well, I mean, yeah, but why would his disappear then?
Right.
Yeah, because he's in a
So
different
let's just say there's a trillion multiverses, and she destroyed that one first. How does he know he finished? She went and did all the other ones.
I mean, he's assuming, obviously, but
okay. So the movie ends based on Doctor Strange's assumption that Wanda, who clearly does the wrong thing over and over and over and over again, when it did the right thing this time. So yeah, it operates on that assumption, and then that was it. I mean, it was pretty much like a quick cleanup. Everybody, we're gonna go put the strongest person on the planet in Kamatage. He tried to make sparks. That'd be pretty good, And
well, to your point, Dave, if she's already can make portals and she's strong, now she'll be a damn sorcerer too. She'll have like double the power, right?
Yeah. I mean, they should just combine Hulk and Spider-Man too.
But,
what I mean? Hulkman.
You know what, Dave? I saw there. I see they're gonna do something similar to the Xavier Institute. So for the new superheroes, and you keep talking about the Young Avengers.
You mean Hogwarts, bro?
Exactly right. But you gotta combine Xavier Institute, Kamatage, and maybe elements of Shield and the Inhumans to train them to be the right type of heroes. You're gonna need that education. They're gonna need that guidance.
Nah, so that'd be all right. That'd be all right.
Well, apparently
you're about to have a person who has no magic in the comics whatsoever in her entire life doing magic. So
well, she
I'm
kind
gonna
of
leave that there
because she opens up portals.
And if she wasn't, I wouldn't be going this hard on it if she wasn't one of my favorite characters, bro. But ever since she's come out, she's been.
So wouldn't that make you happier that she gonna get more power now and be a sorcerer as well?
No, because she doesn't have all the stuff that made me like her in the first place. They're just taking her and driving her on a different road.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
So.
Yeah, I agree. Okay, well, I didn't like the ending either, only because I felt like that all of a sudden Doctor Strange is like, you had to see you all along, and you can do this. I just don't like an end. Like, I don't know. I'm with E. I wanted a more of a climactic battle type of fight than that at the end. With Wanda though, I think going all the way back to the beginning, I feel like you said, they got to keep that fine line with her being a hero villain. So you got to have her do something heroic to kind of offset everything she did that was bad. What the hell is that noise? Is that Josh?
I apologize. That's Ease Waves.
I was just thinking that. I was seasick. I was feeling seasick.
And then I felt like that like you said, it wrapped it up all nice and tidy. You get the Strange and Christine talking about, he said, I love you, I always love you. And she ain't said nothing back. Like, we'll take care basically. I'll see you later.
Well, that was the only universe where they really had closure.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, when he was Sam.
Facts. And
Lord Simpleton.
Let's see though, because she did save his life.
Oh my gosh, Christine, I'm gonna love you in every reality, every multiverse. Oh my god.
Yo, she didn't even say it back. She was just like, take care.
She Han Soloed him.
He knew what it was, and he knew what it was. So they could never be together. But that was the closest they could get to closure.
Okay, but if he's gonna say a whole speech about how much he loves her in every universe, she can say it back at least.
He never told her he loves her. Do y'all not remember that part?
And she didn't either.
But no, listen.
It's a different Christine as well, so that's fair.
Well, listen, he had to come to grips that he loved her, because then the whole time he was in about it. He's literally in denial about his love for her. So then at that point, he's like, all right, I can finally admit that I love you. Just like he bowed at the end. I can finally admit you're the Sorcerer Supreme. And I can. It was a part of him being humble. It was showing his character growth. It wasn't like, oh, Christine, I'll go to the ends of the earth, which he actually did
Right.
Like, he kept that. That was an internal struggle. That was never like a struggle that she was ever aware of. She never was aware of it.
Okay. And then we get I guess the third eye pops up again. Post credit scene with what's the girl name? Cleva, Dave?
Clea.
Clea. Yeah, Clea. The set of Doctor Strange 3. So anybody excited about the next Doctor Strange? How y'all feel about that? Stuff like that.
Yeah. Of course,
Yeah,
I'm
ready.
excited for every one of these movies, man. I'm seriously excited. Every one of them that comes down the pipe, got to move the story along.
Right.
Hope they have a little bit more Kang in the next one because they're going to the Cancerverse now, so that ought to be interesting.
I don't think so.
I didn't get Cancerverse. I thought they was going to the dark dimension.
They go to the dark dimension, yeah.
Right.
Cancerverse, trust me. I already looked into. I looked into the little portal she cut. There's more things for the Cancerverse there than there is from the dark dimension.
Okay.
But how is if that?
All right. Anybody? So E, before you guys came on the show, Chloe and Josh, E gave this movie a 10. You thinking with your 10, E?
Nah, since I've seen it 3 times now, I'm gonna go with. I'm gonna give it an 8 because that ending did sabotage my 10. That ending sabotaged my 10.
Dave, sticking with your number from the beginning? Now you seen it 3 times?
Yeah, 8.5,
that?
8.5.
Okay, surprisingly.
Yeah, 8.5. Yeah.
Josh still 8?
I'm still at 8, and I only saw it once. So for me, it all comes down to the multiverse incursions and how our 616 Doctor Strange is going to create his own Illuminati, because that's the best defense for the 616, literally, right? And I can see someone like Peter Parker, whose skill set, power set, it works very well with the multiverse. So I feel like he's going to be Peter with MJ having holes in different multiverse codes, 616, 838. You feel me? Things like that. And then,
got codes.
that's right. And then also, I can totally see, because I feel like the multiverse specifically solves Wakanda's biggest dilemma, both on screen and off screen. Now you could have something like someone like Killmonger and Kang team up together. They're already teaming up for Creed 3. There's no reason why they're not going to have any future scenes in the future with a Killmonger from a different multiverse. It's like how we saw in What If, already destroyed one Wakanda. I'm gonna come into your reality, your multiverse. I'm gonna team up with Kang, and I'm gonna take out another Wakanda. I'm gonna take out the 616. I can totally see that.
Chloe, you still at the same number you were at? I don't remember what you were at, but what are you at?
I gave it a B.
Oh, B, that's right.
B
minus. That's right.
That's like an 85. That's like an 80 to 85.
B minus is an 80.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, yeah.
Wait, did y'all say
the B plus? What's a B plus?
86, 80. Yeah, 80.
B plus would be 85 to 90, right? And then B minus.
No. B plus is 80, like 87 and 90, 86 to 90. Because B is 83 to 86. It's in the middle, and then B minus.
Got you. Okay, got you.
Yeah.
Did y'all say he got clones in different area codes? I got clones.
That would have been pretty cool, actually. I'm gonna play on words.
I'm gonna give it a 7.5.
Okay, and I'm with Chloe. 7.5.
I don't have any urgency or any need or want to watch it again.
Yeah.
And then, like, usually when I watch New Rockstars and afterwards I'm like, oh snap, I gotta rewatch that. I was just like, nah. It was a very long movie. I feel like,
you know what's crazy? It wasn't a long movie.
It was not. It was 2 hours and 4 minutes.
Yeah, it was way shorter than like anything else.
Batman.
So there's this thing called like illusion of speed, where it's, you know, it could be the same hour, but it could
I'm familiar with it.
Yeah.
And
I agree.
It's a pattern of actions, right? This movie felt longer than it was.
Longer than what it was. Yeah,
I don't think I could sit through that whole movie again. Like, if I were to rewatch it, I would have to rewatch specific parts. And then I might rewatch it before the next one. I think the next time I rewatch it before the next, I guess, movie comes out, just so I can see the connection, if there is any, to the next movie or any Easter eggs. But nah, like, I don't want to see it again. It's kind of like I would want to see Eternals again, just because there was so much to unpack. This one, there wasn't a lot of symbolism So I like movies that have like a lot of symbolism and a lot of like, this was very, very straightforward, in my opinion. So it left nothing to the imagination. It was just like, oh, this happened and this happened. So yeah, it's like a 7 for me because I didn't really have to think much.
Okay, I mean everybody's got their own opinion. I'm with Josh. I said it on the show. I do think the MCU has peaked. I'm sticking with that, even though they'll still make quality films, stuff like that. But I don't think they'll reach levels that they reached before. But thank you guys for coming on as well. After we talked about this last week, to come on again is very, 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 very nice of you guys. We'll be back. Josh, Chloe, Dave, not Dave, E. will be back with me for Obi-Wan. I'm sure when that comes out, to talk about that on a weekly basis. And Dave, I'll see you this week on Half Court Trap. And
Yeah. So what day? What day is it? Wednesday or Tuesday?
Probably Wednesday or stuff like that. But I'll let you know
So
exactly.
I'm getting on the phone with my dude right now, letting him know.
No, don't do it yet. I got to ask my boys. I got to let them know.
All right. Got you.
But thank you all again for watching. Anybody watch, like, comment, subscribe. Appreciate that. And we'll see you guys next time.
Yes, sir. Peace out.
Peace out.